Cup Series presented by Full Throttle Sim Racing. Coming at you live, Nerd TV, every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This time, we found ourselves at the second short track of the season in a three-race series here. Going to be at Martinsville, at Under the Lights, it looks like, tonight. And alongside me, as always, to my right, Mr. Shibya Nick. How you doing over there?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. It's good to be back up in the booth here at Martinsville. Expecting some exciting racing tonight with these guys, so I'm excited for this one.
Speaking of exciting racing, there was an excellent truck race that did happen this past Wednesday, and unfortunately, there was an issue on the producer's end, which has been resolved. Apparently, the firewall update in the virtual world has presented a problem with NISP combined. They made this little baby that did not want us to do anything last Wednesday. So sincere apology to everybody out there that was trying to watch this past Wednesday. Both issues have been resolved, should not be happening again. But, as much excitement that Wednesday brought that you guys unfortunately did not catch, you will see probably just the same amount of energy, if not more, tonight.
Yeah, I'm expecting it. I was, unfortunately, like you said, we weren't in the booth and, couldn't bring it to you guys, but we were sitting there watching it a little bit. The start there is a great race all the way through. So we can't wait to show it to you tonight and show what Full Throttle Sim Racing always does every weekend and week out, and that's just puts on incredible racing. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun with these short tracks. And I think this is what our last stint of the short tracks, or no, we have Bristol next week, don't we? And then that's going to be the end of them.
Yeah, Bristol Dirt, I do believe, and then that's going to end it off for the 3-week series of the short tracks that are coming up. Last Wednesday, Bobby Terrell did take it home first place. Congratulations to Bobby. Sorry we couldn't interview you. Maybe we can talk to you sometime here real soon. Get you in the booth and congratulate you personally. But it's about, and Dustin actually keys up in my ear and says he apologized as well. So maybe if we can catch you on the next event, I'll give you a nice little congratulations there. But tonight is 250 laps at Martinsville, which is a pretty decently length race, 50% as always here. And if cautions do stack up, it presents a really long race. And if they go caution-free, which Full Throttle Sim Racing is pretty much known for at this point, should be a pretty decent race, Ken.
Yeah, and like you said, 250 laps are practice times right now. You got Brandon Elder leading the field. He's been, putting some practice laps down these last couple of weeks, having some bad luck on the track once the race starts, but he's running at a 19.178. So him and Richie Coy with Chuck Sweeting, which we know how Chuck's been these last couple of weeks, top 3. So, they're getting around here about 3 laps a minute. You can do the math. It'll be a good, we'll be here for a while, so stick around.
Yeah, I mean, the pace is pretty blistering at this point, and Chuck Sweeting, I know he's been on a tear recently. This past Monday, as we were trying to get through the early issues we had, Chuck Sweeting was involved, along with Casey and a couple other top contenders involved in an early wreck that kind of took him out of the race. So there's quite a few people who really enjoy Martinsville. They just had a really bad luck section there early in the race on this past Wednesday. And they are really motivated to get that 180 to maybe get in victory lane tonight.
Yeah, they want to turn it around. I mean, you still have Ryan Hedrick, who's not have any effect to all this. He's still leading the points by 18 with Richie Coy, who we know how he's been all season, and with 18 behind him, and then Casey McMullen sitting 31 points behind him. So they're still chasing the rookie there at Ryan Hedrick. He's still leading the way, and his teammates they had some issues of late, but I expect that team to kind of bounce back and have some strong finishes here at Martinsville.
Yeah, and Ryan Hedricks, I think one of those guys that we talked to, and he wasn't too fond of this particular track, if I do recall. He's currently 3/10 off the leader, Brandon Elder, which he's come from the back before, so it's not like it's very possible he could do it. But 3/10 at Martinsville is, for 250 laps, that's a huge difference to try to make up and try to contend to keep your points lead, because Richie Coy is on his tail.
It adds up too. I mean, you got to think about, like you said, 250 laps it doesn't take that long to get around here. 3/10, that's going to add up to a second pretty quick. So this short track, it can put you a lap down in a hurry, and that's definitely not what you want, because then you're going to be fighting all night to get back on the lead lap. So as we see with Ryan before, he's kind of been back there a little bit, and maybe 15th, and then creeps his way up into the top 10, top 5, and he's there at the end of the race. So we'll see if he figures it out tonight and can get his way up there to the front, which I don't see no reason why he's been doing it all season. But definitely, like you said, you're being that far back, being 3/10 off. You don't want to find yourself in a hole within the first 50 to 100 laps tonight.
You really don't. And speaking of Ryan, too, he did finish ninth place, one lap down last week at Richmond at the Chuck Sweeting 200. So, he didn't start him off right, the short tracks. And, at this rate, he's got some work to do, Ken. He's got this race, he's got one more to hold off Richie Coy, who's shown a lot more speed here on these short tracks. He's got to find something to at least hold his ground before they get out of the stint and then go to the super speedway like Talladega.
Yeah, and then that one, Talladega is just Talladega. It's its own little animal. You're just trying to get out alive, and sometimes you end up being the one that causes it. But most of the time, you're just in a bad spot, bad time, and takes you out. But if you can keep it clean, that's going to be the biggest gain. If you can just stay out there, keep it clean, top 10, not have any damage, or you can have a little bit of damage, but just finish the race. And if you have those ones that you're competing with have some issues, you never know what might happen. So that's always up in the air. But Martinsville is a different animal as well. So these next couple of races are definitely going to shake the points up a little bit. And with Chuck, if he didn't have those bad races, he'd be sitting a little bit closer. I think he's sitting about 8th in points. I think he's 53 points or so behind. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But I know if he just had a little bit better finishes on some tracks, he'd be right up there fighting for it as well.
Yeah, you're 1 point off, 54 points out from the lead from Ryan Hedrick. So he's been on tear. So he's definitely going to try to make up some ground tonight. But that is going to bring us to the conclusion of the Martin Sports pre-race show, if I can talk right. And so that means we're going to get our mugs off your guys' screen, and we're going to bring you qualifying action, and it'll give us some time to thank each and all of our sponsors out there for the Full Throttle Sim Racing and the Nerditudes World. First and foremost, very much appreciate Full Throttle Sim Racing for letting us do this for you guys every Monday and Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Been doing this thing for 16 years, iRacing for 5 in particular. You're seeing all the action on the track each and every week. You can keep talking about how great they are, and it just doesn't get old because it's one of the best leagues out there in my book personally, as far as the racing standpoint and the balance of having excellent respectfulness out there on the track each and every week. So if you want to be a part of all that action, go to FTSR.net, or you can type out the full thing, fullthrottlesimracing.net. Get in contact with one of the admins, and they'll be glad to get you set up and potentially running in one of these series. And once again, FTSR.net. And then Sim Racing Points, your Wednesday night truck series sponsor. It's that league points management system that allows league owners and admins to completely track their league stats, points with a simple upload. Sim Racing Points, also for the webmasters out there. They allow full customized widgets for your website, so you can display the points however you want, wherever you want, with just a few simple clicks too. With the race export, you just upload it in the system, and boom, live update, does all the math for you, takes all the work behind the scenes out from the admins in the point world's perspective. So if you want to have something to track your points really simple, please go to simracingpoints.com and check out all their price plans. And then we have Martin Sports, home of the sim gloves, the best sim gloves in all of the sim world, the most breathable tech out there for the sim racing community. And they offer more than that, Ken. They offer customized T-shirts.
What?
Hoodies.
What?
And they offer, drawing a blank, I apologize. Yep, hoodies, and they also do hats. That's what it was, hats.
What?
And then I kind of messed that up. My bad. Yeah, and also, all their customized shirts too, by the way, are the fastest turnaround in the business. Some of the best merchandise you can get your hands on. And a really nice guy, Mr. Scott Martin, over there at martinsports906.com. So please go to martinsports906.com, and when you do that, whatever you put in your shopping cart, use promo code SUPERNERD at checkout for a 25% off. Pretty generous discount there for everybody out there. So once again, martinsports906.com, SUPERNERD at checkout for 25% off. And then we have iRacing iFlag. It's that system that brings all the iRacing indications, all the racing flags, and basically everything the spotter has to tell you, all into a little box on your desk. Makes it super easy to recognize exactly what's going on the racing surface, whether it be a flag comes out, if you have a meatball, if you got someone on your high side. It does all that work for you in one location. Super simple. Really cool product, one of a kind thing. So if you go over to iRacingIFlag.com, use promo code Super Nerd again for 15% off of all their merchandise. And that product especially is pretty awesome. So highly recommend it. iRacingIFlag.com. And then we have thebuttkicker.com. Anything you put your shopping cart over there, like the Gamer 2 unit, you're going to use Nerd TV for 20% off. That Gamer 2 unit especially, it's a sim racer's dream essentially to have one of those in your sim rig. If you don't, you need to get one. Brings all the bumps and feels of the racing surface directly into your chair. Gives you that much needed feel from the car to perform at your peak performance. See their entire product line at thebuttkicker.com. Once again, Nerd TV at checkout for 20% off. And we'll give a quick shout out to our official energy partner, Nerd Focus. Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off of their 2 flavors they have. The green one you see on the screen there, and then the blue one as well. The blue one is sugar-free, and the green is your normal with sugar. So whatever you prefer, they both have awesome flavors, tested in-house, and everybody here enjoys them. Once again, it's nerdfocus.com. And then we also have Moonlight Speed Concepts, the official setup provider for Nerditudes on the asphalt side of things. Great community over there. You can find them on Twitter. You can also find them at their website at www.moonlightspeed.com. And then also on the flip side with the dirt setups, the House of Speed, you're going to go to www.houseofspeed.us. Also find them on social media. Great setups made by professional drivers that, it's one of those setups that if you really want to compete at your top performance, you go to their websites. And great prices too. All right, Kenny. Now looks like they are taking the grid. Let's go ahead and run down that qualifying order for the first top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we got 20 cars that's going to be out here tonight. Maybe. We'll see if Brody starts this race or not. Starting on the pole, though, Casey McMullen, 19.286. Nice qualifying lap there. Outside of him, Richie Coy starting second. Tony Sawari starting third. Brandon Elder, great qualifying run in fourth. Chris Beck starting fifth. Chuck Sweeting, 6th. Ryan Hedrick in 7th. There it is, Jeremy. 8th is Wayne Grassy. 9th is Sherwood Wilford. And rolling off 10th is James Wallace.
11th place will be Rob Shoemaker. Starting at 12th on his outside is Gil Gawk. 13th place, you're going to find Kenneth Scholes. 14th place on his outside is Matty Watkins. Starting at 15th will be the number 1 of Kevin Rupert. 16th place will be Josh Johnson. 17th place will be Brian Dublé. I do not think Brody Hand is going to be starting, so let's get around Steve Loomis, I think, or Brian Bliss, rather, to 18th, and then 19th place, it looks like it's going to be Steve Loomis.
Yeah, so if he doesn't make it, we're going to have about 19 cars out here, so still a good field here at Martinsville. Should get around pretty good. It'd be nice to see Brody back out here, but I know he's kind of not feeling these things, even though he's got 3 wins this season. No big deal, but we'll see him in the trucks on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just can't believe them, right? You say you don't like these things, yet you're doing so well. It's like a first world problem to really just hate something and be really good at it at the same time. So, it'd be great to see him back on track. But it looks like Monday's X'd off his schedule, and he'll be racing with us on Wednesdays at this time. But we have about a lap and a half of pacing before we get these 19 cars rolling for 250 laps at the Martinsville 250. Under the lights, Ken. I'm super glad that Martinsville bought these lights out a few years ago.
I love it. I love seeing this track under the lights, especially after the race. You see the show they put on, the light show with them flashing. That's pretty exciting as well. But yeah, I love this, and especially we switched over there. I don't know if anyone else noticed it, but we went from practice to qualifying, just poof, instantly, lights are down, it's dark around, and it's a race that I definitely want to go see in person, and it's on the bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, it's It's pretty cool. You know, it's not like a super stadium like Bristol is per se, but it's a really. I've heard that anywhere you sit at this facility, it is an awesome view, and is definitely on my bucket list as well. Would be excited to come here in Martinsville. It doesn't matter when, where. Just tell me when the time is, and I'll be there. But pace car is down though. Waiting for Casey McMullen to take the green flag here, as you see premature Patrick holding that thing bright in front of everybody. Green flag is out, and now he decides to wave it. They are side by side, and actually, Mr. Coy here is going to try to clear Casey into turn one. Does not do it. Let's see if he can get a good exit off the corner. Does not. They're going to go side by side into turn number 3, Ken.
Yeah, Richie got a great start. I just went back and looked at it to see if he jumped it, and he just timed it perfectly. And he's holding his own up here on the outside, and he's trying to make that push for it in that Flow Racing 19 Ford Mustang there. But Tony Solari is looking as well. Tony's going to try and make his way up as he's running 3rd place.
Yeah, they're still side by side for the race lead, a lap and a half in. This is quite exciting early on here. Casey not letting go in that bottom, and Richie Coy surprisingly able to hold the top side, no problem. It almost looks like Casey's a little bit tight on exit, just cannot get the throttle down.
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling there with Richie being on his outside. He's just wanting either to clear him or have Richie go by, and I'm sure just so he can kind of get that run that he's looking for. But Richie's not giving up anything. He's actually probably enjoying this outside and not having any issues. And as I kind of see back in the field, looks like Ryan Hedrick got pushed to the outside, got passed by, looks like Matty Watkins there. So Matty's already moved his way up in the 10th position, but we still got a battle for the lead here.
Oh, we do. And we see the free-floating cam here by our producer, Dustin. Just get an excellent view of Richie Coy's door panel. They are still side by side on lap number 5. These guys have not let go. Tony Solari is looking for that room. As soon as one clears, I'm sure he's going to jump on it. Right now, Richie Coy has something on the high side I've not seen too often in Martinsville.
Yeah, this is impressive to see Richie what he's doing on the outside, and these guys, little push up there by Casey, no big deal. He's going to go from the groove, pushes Richie up, but Richie, that might be what he needs. He is going to get by Casey there, take over that lead. But he's still fighting back, actually. You see Richie pushed it a little bit too much. So these guys are pushing it hard early.
Richie's been driving that corner hard to keep to the high side, but when he got it cleared, he overdid the shot on the bottom side of the track. It allowed Casey McMullen to swoop by him real quick. Single file now, Casey McMullen, and Tony Solari, excellent save there, is going to allow the 51 to get around him for 3rd.
And looks like we're going to have maybe a little bit of to watch coming off of turn 2 there. I saw James Wallace as they were fighting there for the lead in the back. He just got a little bit sideways, nothing to worry about, but just something that's probably caught his attention and something he's going to pay attention to the rest of this race. And then I also want to mention we were talking about Brody not making the race, and also Brian Bliss did not make it. So we're going to only have 18 out here running right now. So we got 18 on the lead lap, and we have a yellow flag out right now.
Yellow flag is out for the number 47. Your points leader, Ryan Hedrick, looks like he's sitting still at the entrance of turn number 1. Coming off of turn number 4, Kenny just got, I don't know, it looked like he was shifting. He was on the straightaway, no problem. And the car weaved left, went right, hit the wall, and then got checked by the 2 afterwards.
And they got a little assistance there, as we see here on your TV. Hit the wall and then sent him around. Now, he did say that he, as you mentioned in the pre-race, that this wasn't one of his tracks. And unfortunately, we're just a few laps in, and it's already kind of showing that. And you know, on lap 2, he did the same thing. He got off a 2 got off a 4 and put it in the wall. So he already had some damage before that, and then that kind of just gave him a little bit more.
Yeah, he's already 1 lap down after that wreck, it looks like. And yeah, I think that was all just a misshift into the 4th gear. Kicked the car a little sideways, and you see on board with Rob Shoemaker here, just didn't expect anything like that. Had nowhere to go at that point. Drove into the back bumper of Ryan Hedrick, sent him around, and Rob Shoemaker looked like he came out with basically no damage, maybe just a slight dent to the front bumper.
Yeah, that looked identical to the lap 2. I was looking back to see where that initial damage came from. So he's had 2 issues like that right off of 4, so it's just that spot. It was right at the start-finish line. And I don't see, like, I agree with you, I don't see any damage on the number 2 of Rob Shoemaker, so he got by, but definitely going to take it. Luckily, you know, we only got 18 tonight. So he can take a hit, but he does have an 18-point gap. So worst case, you know, he gets last, Richie wins. They're going to be right there together. But good thing he's got that buffer, especially coming into a track that he's not super excited about. So maybe he's just going to try and survive and see what he can do. But definitely not a start that he wanted.
No, and he's got a nice little 18-point buffer, and he's been working hard all season long on that. We're just over halfway done with this season. And he's done an excellent job coming in here as a rookie. His whole team as a rookie collectively, and to put up the numbers he has been doing is great. But I guess we have found where he's not so strong, which is at these short tracks. And early on the second stint of the 3 series of short tracks, he's once again shown that he's not up speed like some of these other guys out here, like you see Richie Coy, who's currently sitting in second. And I'm sure Richie's, I'm sure he's low-key really excited to see Ryan in the pit road with damage early on.
Same with Casey McMullen. Both of those, I mean, they're sitting second and third in the points. And, there's only 2 things that we found wrong with Ryan Hedrick this season, and he's honestly brought both of them to light, even as well as pit road entrance and Martinsville. Other than that, he's had an excellent season, and he's even admitted it to us in some of the pros race shows. So other than those, and even with the pits, that's not a big deal. But yeah, this one we'll see what happens. Like, it's Martinsville. You don't need your car to be all in one piece. You can run around this thing looking like a modified and still get around here. So we'll see what happens. We're only on lap 11, so we'll see how this thing ends up.
Yeah, there's absolutely no such thing as aerodynamic advantage at this track. So you can tear off all the fenders and be fine. It's all there for aesthetics and to keep your wheels on your chassis. These guys are filing double file rather here for this first restart of this evening, coming at you on lap number 14 when the green flag does fly. The same 2 people are going to be starting first and second, that being Casey McMullen and Richie Coy. Let's see if they can put on the same start that they had to start the whole event here. Waiting for the green flag to fly.
Green flag.
Green is out now. They are underway, completely side by side entering turn number 1. Richie trying to get that advantage, but just like lap number 1, it looks like they're going to come out side by side.
I just got to crack up about that flag, man. I mean, they're already passing the start-finish line before he waves the flag. I don't know what he's doing up there, but yeah, side by side as we see coming off the floor, Casey McMullen, Richie Coy. Richie, had that lead. Oh, no, he gave it back. That's right. Casey McMullen got back. So Casey McMullen's going to stick on the low side. But Richie was having the fight battle. So as they're still side by side, Jeremy, as we're heading down the backstretch.
I am really enjoying this lead battle here. I know Richie Coy wants to get that back whenever he gave it up after finally clearing Casey after 5 laps, I think it was. I'm sure he wants to replicate it and actually stick the bottom the following corner, but right there he just kind of messed up turn 1 entry, and it gave Casey McMullen that spot. Now they are single file. Richie Coy to the back bumper already.
And look who we got sitting in third. Like I said, he's been having a great couple races here of great practice runs, qualifying runs, and just having a bad luck in the race. And that's Brandon Oder sitting in third place. That's a past champion in this league, so he knows how to get around here. Let's see if he's got for Richie Coy and Casey McMullen here for these top 2 spots, as we see Richie get right on the back bumper of Casey there.
Rumor has it that Brandon Elder's driver picture is his actual selfie that he took last week, so rocking those Kellogg colors there. But looks like Richie Coy's back to the inside there of Casey McMullen. They are side by side once again for the race lead, keeping this virtual crowd entertained.
Yeah, that's that was one of my, you said Kellogg's colors. Ooh, we got a little incident there almost. Oh. That's a big hit for Casey. No caution yet though. Casey and Tony Solari got into it there as Casey went back up the track. We'll have to catch a replay here on Nerd TV. I know we saw it live, but we'll have to check back on that. One thing I wanted to mention, you said there's Kellogg colors, but no, that's the fruit stripe, Jeremy. That's the 5 flavor of the gum, and then you get a little tattoo on it. That was one of my favorite chewing gums when I was a kid growing up, so I love that logo he's got there for his picture.
Okay, I just saw the green, red, and yellow, and was like, all right, that's Kellogg's all day. But I think you're right on that one. My memory does not serve me correctly, but as you see right there, he got a little messed up out of turn 4, then got back on the gas, and just like Ryan Hedrick almost, the tire spun halfway down the front stretch, and it kicked it right into Tony Solari, who was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, apparently, being in 4th place. He had not expected that at all. Came up across his nose, and thankfully that car is still on the track and running well. You always got to question the radiator system when you take a direct no shot like that, but looks like they're both running just fine as he lets Casey McMullen back around for 4th place.
Yeah, but poor Tony Solari on that one. Like you said, he's not expecting, he's keeping him going. He's probably expecting, I'm going to pass him. I'm my way in the 3rd place, no big deal. And then right in front of him, hopefully didn't take up too much damage, but that was probably the best thing Richie could see, is seeing Casey have that issue. And, unfortunate for Casey and a gain for Richie. He's, pulling away here, but we still got Brandon Oder. He's fighting back there as well. That slowed him up a little bit, but we'll see if he starts making a charge because he did push his way up through the field so far to get into that third and now second spot after starting fourth.
Yeah, it's going to allow a 1.9 second lead over Brandon Elder. That is Richie Coy at your top spot. And then you're going to go 2 seconds back further to find third place McMullen. And then Tony Solari still running pretty good at a 4.33 back of Richie Coy. So a little bit of a shakeup there. But I think performance-wise, the cars are just fine. I don't see anything too wrong here, as they're all basically single file at this point. They still got a long 250 laps total here. We got 25 down, so it's going to be 225 left.
And looking back, kind of just going through the field, just seeing what's going on, and I noticed a little bit, most of these cars are pretty clean. No damage on them, and I noticed a little bit on Brian Dubreuil, and I wanted to take a look at it, see what happened, and it's just that turn 2. Turn 1 and 2, just a little bit overshot it, coming off one, caught it, next lap caught it again, so that's put him back a little bit, but hopefully we can get a pit stop here and either yellow for his sake so he can get some of that damage fixed. But like we mentioned, it's not a big deal, but definitely that turn 1 and 2, Jeremy, has been a little bit more troublesome from 3 and 4.
Yeah, even the front stretch, for that matter, was kind of weird, and it's causing issues like that. I want to make a quick mention, too. Chuck Sweeting, who's back in 14th, started 6th. He did come down that pit road during that caution, so he has to work his way back to the field. I'm surprised he took the pit stop so early. Maybe he feels like tires are playing a role here. I know we've done a truck race this week here, and I really felt like tires didn't wear that much. So either his setup, he needs something worked on, or he just maybe felt like he needs a slight edge over everybody. But right now, he's only in 13th and just kind of staying stationary.
Yeah, just kind of riding along right now, just seeing where everything's going to kind of turn out. But like I said, just kind of staying stationary. And we see these guys are kind of spaced out a little bit. Got a little battle here with Chuck and James Wallace there, but Chuck looks like he made it on the outside, make that pass. And I thought he was going to be making a run up. He started in 6th, and he's dropped back to 13th, so maybe just a little mishap. But I was expecting to see Chuck with this run we've seen lately to be up towards the front a little quicker than he has. So he's one that we'll keep an eye on. I mean, it's still early, 31 to 250. We still got plenty of time and plenty more to go.
Yeah, plenty of time for sure. And even though we're on the second short track here in 2 weeks, Richmond and Martinsville are completely different animals. One has sweeping long corners. This one has hairpin, paperclip style corners. And so even though the tracks are similar in size, they have a complete different shape. And then Chuck Sweeting, as soon as I was talking about him too, wicked loose off of turn number 4, does save it, does not hit the wall, but it's going to drop him back several spots, about maybe 16th or 17th. So that car is actually struggling right now.
Yeah, that's going to put him back to 16th, right in front of Brian Dubreuil. And then you still have Ryan Hedrick 1 lap down. Still in that lucky dog spot, but Brian Dubreuil he's getting pretty. Richie Coy's coming up on him pretty quick, so that's going to put Brian Dubreuil in that first lucky dog spot. So Ryan Hedrick needs to kind of figure out what he can do to get back into that top one, but that'll take away that lucky dog from him.
Sure would. And a couple mentions, quick movers here. 5 spots gained so far by your 8th place runner, Kenneth Scholes, and right behind him, Superman Matty Watkins. They started 13th and 14th, and they've made their way up to 8th and 9th. So those guys are early on showing some good speed.
Yeah, just following their way through the pack with each other. And I was kind of looking at Super Matty Watkins' paint scheme earlier, and if I missed it this whole season, then I am sorry, Matty, but I never noticed the dog on top of the roof and then at your pit stall marker as well. So definitely a little cool touch there. If we didn't mention it before, it is an awesome little touch you got onto it. We love it. I'm assuming that's probably your dog or a dog that you like. But if you've noticed it before, Jeremy, then let me know. But I think it's the first time I've seen it tonight.
Yeah, I'm really digging his windshield banner, the Cup Series skins. I'll let that one slide though. But yeah, the dog thing's pretty cool. I feel like I've seen it, but I just can't put my finger on it. So, either way, I love the simplicity of that car. Gets the job done without having all the visual graphics that I usually put on my kind of car, but looks super clean and I love it. Those two are still running 8th and 9th rather collectively. Top running order still about the same. Haven't seen any change here. Just a couple guys slightly falling off. Richie Coy's fastest lap time so far through 38 laps into this event, and there's not really too much going on. I think they're just kind of playing the waiting game a little bit, filling up the car, and whenever the pit stops finally do happen, which me, I'm not going to call that. We might see some strategies a little bit later.
Yeah, I think the only battle that I see on the track was Steve Loomis and Josh Johnson, and Steve ended up getting around Josh there. Right in front of him is Casey, but we know he's a lap, or sorry, not Casey, but Ryan Hedrick, we know he's a lap down, so Chuck Swing's the next on there. But yeah, just kind of everyone's following right in line and making their way through. But some of these guys, they're slow, like you said. You mentioned Kenny Schultz and Matty Watkins, how they've been gaining quite a few spots there, so they're just picking their way through and seeing where everything plays out.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in really pushing the issue unless you just really want to get up there and try to lead some laps. But right now, Richie Coy, the way he's running, I don't think anybody else really has a chance, because he's almost out to a 3-second lead. You see right there on Kenneth Scholes' onboard camera, Sherwood Williford kind of missed turn 1 and turn 2, overdrove that corner, which that's going to scrub off some tire for the long run. That might be, put his car on the tight side.
Yeah, that's where we're going to start seeing passes, if we're going to have any that's coming up, is tire wear, if that's going to wear off, and then anyone that just overdrives it into the corner. If they're right there behind you, that's the time to take the advantage, take the spot, and move on, because you're not going to get many of them, especially if everyone's running that, running single file like this. They're going to neglect to take the low sides. We already see right there, Chris Beck and Sherwood Wilford, they're already heading down to take that inside way before they even get to the turn. So it's going to have to be a mistake on someone's end to make up any ground right now.
And since we got a little 6-car train going on right now, seeing on board here with Sherwood, I'd like to kick it over to what we call Nerd Enhanced Racing Decibels. Get the sound of these Cup cars at the short track of Martinsville. So we'll let you guys listen in, and we'll be with you in just a couple moments. Guys, that was Nerd Enhanced Racing Decibels, as we like to call it, Nerd. How fitting for a group like us at Nerditudes. And Kenny, since we did that little segment there, Richie Coy has gotten into some lap cars and starting to put some people a lap down.
Yeah, he's knocked off Josh Johnson and Steve Loomis, so we're gonna have 4, and also Ryan Hedrick. He put him 2 laps down. So from bad to worse for Ryan Hedrick there. He went from being 1 lap car down, hoping for a quick caution, and I know we mentioned it before here that when they kind of get 2 quick cautions and then they're done for the race, and this time it was just 1, so it didn't work out for Ryan, so he's going to have a tough race ahead of him. But Richie's still on a tear. I mean, he's sitting 3 seconds ahead of Brandon Elder and Casey McMullen, who had that little scuffle there on the front stretch, but Richie's just taking off.
Yeah, Ryan's currently 18th. He just went 2 laps down to the guy who's right behind him in points. 18 points back, that number 19 is. And so at this pace right now, they're going to be basically dead even going into Bristol dirt, which for a lot of people, we don't know how that's going to play out with these next gen cars. So it's definitely an audible style of a racetrack compared to the normalness. So this could be huge potentially for Richie to leap out and shine and try to make a late season push into the championship spot.
Yeah, this could be a big points day and bring him right back into this. And I know it's hard. Oh, we got a spin back there. I see on the back, sitting in turn 2. It looks like
Chuck Sweeting exit of turn number 2, right next to your race leader Richie Coy. Thankfully, everyone was able to avoid it. Chuck does say, "I apologize" on the radio. We're gonna see exactly what happened here momentarily, but it looked like Chuck Sweeting was just all by himself in turn number 2.
yes, and they're watching another car, and next thing you know, there they popped up. So let's see what happened here.
Here in turn number 1, just gets in. Well, actually, the wasn't getting too heavy, but the car just over rotated. It looked like right there, directly in the center of the corner, and the rear tires just lost traction and kicked around.
Yeah, not too bad. Didn't cause any more damage, which is always good. So just a little spin around. That's what some of these guys need. We see Brandon Elder, Casey McMullen, Tony Sawari. Those are the 3 that kind of got in that little scuffle there with Casey McMullen. But we got a couple more on there. We see Chris Beck, looks like Wayne Grassi, Sherwood Wilford, Matty Watkins, Kenneth Schultz. Man, we got a whole bunch of them, Jeremy, on pit road.
Quite a bit. Getting their car serviced. We are, 250 laps into a 250 lap event. So does not surprise me to see a lot of these guys coming down and getting some fresh set of good years and filling up that Sunoco fueled gas tank. And Casey McMullen actually slid over his stall, so he had to back up and lost probably 3 or 4 seconds right there. So that's going to drop back a few spots. And in Martinsville, as you know by now, it's it's not an easy feat to pass people unless your name's Denny Hamlin.
Exactly, and it looks like we have Steve Loomis here. He going to be your lucky dog recipient of this caution. So it's going to put him back on the lead lap. Should put him back into 14th or 15th, but that will be your Martin Sports Get a Grip lucky dog driver. That is Steve Loomis, so he's going to take the first one tonight. It's going to put Ryan Hedrick also 1 lap down as well, so he's going to hope to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, makes Ryan the only car right now registered as 1 lap down. So I know we don't get too many cautions at Full Throttle Sim Racing, but he is really hoping to get 1 more to get this thing turned around for him, because he needs to get that damage repaired all the way and really get that car dialed in for the second half of this race.
Yeah, we see him right now sitting out front. I'm sure they're probably just waiting on the wave around here, which will hopefully kind of put them back on it. We'll see where that turns out. But we got Steve Loomis now making his pit stop, so like we said, he's back on the lead lap. That's going to probably shuffle him back to 16th, I want to say. Maybe somewhere around that 15-16 range. But looks like after the pit stops, German, we still have Richie Coy in first, Brandon Elders in second, Wayne Grassi in third, Sherwood Wilford in fourth, and Chris Beck, I believe, is going to round out your top 5.
Yeah, sure would. And speaking of which, top 6 through 10, I'll give you Chris Beck, then Matty Watkins, Casey McMullen, who did slide down to 8th place from that pit stop. I think he came in 3rd, so he lost 5 positions over sliding that stall. Kenneth Schultz 9th, and Gil Gawk inside the top 10 for the first time this evening for him. He's looking to kind of put on a little performance here. You see the wave arounds go around the track, one being Ryan Hedrick, and it looks like we have Josh Johnson as well as Brian Dublé. Those 3 cars are rounding out behind the field. The pace car is dipping down this time, so Richie Coy is going to lead Mr. Brandon Elder, who is really laying back here. I'm not sure what's going on here, but that's a heavy layback. But they're waiting for the flag.
Green.
They got caught up. I don't know what's going on there, but green flag is out. Richie Coy makes a good jump here, clears everybody into turn number 1. And it's going to bring Wayne Grassi there on the inside of that number 7 Pennzoil machine. He's going to take a stab for 2nd place.
Yeah, it's a new face that we've seen tonight. Wayne Grassi sitting up there battling for 2nd, running in 3rd. Started 7th, so it's not a surprise to see him up here, but just took about 60 laps and made his way up here. But we see behind them, we got a little battle there with Sherwood Wilford and Matty Watkins trying to jump up on the super high side with Chris Beck looking on his inside.
Yeah, super high side is an understatement. If you can get that thing going, you're going to be the only car up there. You have no traffic. So if you got a little congestion at the bottom and you car can somehow grip that middle of the upper lane, feel free. I haven't done this since NR 2003, so super rare thing to see someone do that, but if you can do it, why not? But it looks like they all go single file here for the most part, except for maybe back there in 10th or 11th, we see side by side James Wallace with Rob Shoemaker. Rob on the high side, but looked like he's going to follow in suit in front of Kevin Rupert.
Yeah, and Casey McMullen's looking on the high side of Chris Beck. He's trying to get back up to the front. Started that restart in 7th place. So if he can move back up to the front where he started and see if he can claim that top 3, he's looking to do it as he goes on the inside of Chris Beck there. He's going to take that 6th place position there. It looks like Kenneth Schultz is going to go right there with him, trying to take that spot as well. So Chris Beck is under fire from 2 drivers.
Yeah, Casey opened that window, and Kenneth said, "This is mine too. I want to take it while the advantage is there." And Chris Beck's got some work to do, which he gives up the spot to Mr. Souls. That's going to give him sole possession of 7th place rather. And yeah, going back to Casey McMullen, who's up to 6th. And he's got his eyesight set on Superman, Matty Watkins, and he's gaining a little bit here each and every lap. So I think he's going to be able to get back to the top 3 relatively easy at this point.
Yeah, and that's 2 tails of how that can go, Jeremy. You got Chris Beck sitting on the high side, Casey McMullen's going on his inside with Kenneth Schultz, and Kenneth Schultz said, I'm going to take a spot too. You know, he's up on the high side, I'm going to see what I can do. And at the same time, you got Chris Beck, who's trying not to lose too many spots, so it's like, maybe I should just let him go, fall back in line, or am I going to battle it out and possibly lose a 3rd or 4th spot? Looks like he kind of chose to back off and let him in and come down, so he didn't lose anything further and fall back in line. So just got a little bit of strategy and pick and choose what you need to do. But as we still look here, I'm looking at Casey McMullen's trying to make a move on Matty Watkins. Looks like Matty Watkins got a little loose there off the corner, and Casey McMullen's diving in to take that spot.
Yeah, the allows Casey to cleanly pass Matty Watkins for that top 5 position. It was a pretty good move there to take advantage of someone's little mistake, which at Martinsville, you know, if you're going to make some type of passes like that, you really want to just kind of, you got to have a really fast car, just kind of eat off some of his mistakes. But we gotta in our chats here, which we highly advise you guys to join us in the chat systems on all of our streams that we provide you on, whether it be Facebook Gaming or YouTube or Twitch. But we got Dean Gear out there saying good luck, go number 33. So Sherwood Williford, you got a cheerleader out there. So yeah, please go join us on the chats. We'll love to shout out all your guys' comments that you make out there. So going back to the action though, Matty Watkins is not really wanting to give up that top 5. Ken is kind of staying there alongside Casey.
Yeah, they're just kind of following out, and Casey's trying to run these guys down. He's got a fast car tonight. Just that little incident there off of 4 earlier, but he's definitely looking at Sherwood Williford. They got a yellow out, got a caution. Looks like 2 cars in the turn 3 and 4 there. Looks like maybe it was Josh Johnson. Nope, sorry, that's going to be the 2 of Rob Shoemaker, and I believe there's one more involved with that.
Rob Shoemaker and Chuck Sweeting. Chuck just it was a combination, I think. Rob thought he was going to be clear of Chuck, and then Chuck overdrove the corner at the same time. Those 2, you can see right here on the screen. He's going to dive into the corner. It just kind of comes down across Chuck's nose, and Chuck slid up the track, according so, and not too much damage, Ken. Direct rear bumper contact there for Rob Shoemaker, but that shouldn't affect anything.
No, not too bad. Unfortunately, I had the same incident a couple weeks back in one of the races I was doing. But you can kind of see what's nice too. And Chuck keyed up right away. Said he was sorry, that it was his fault. But watch him right here. As he wrecks him, he just goes up high, lets everyone go down. He knows that he did something he shouldn't do there. Kind of, doesn't push the issue, doesn't want to wreck anything else. It's just, even with something like that, they're going to respect each other, and they don't want to cause any more incident, and they're going to take blame. So it's just great to see in this league. Yeah,
we always like to preach it, and it just never lets down. All the respect out there. So there's quite a few other leagues that I've been a part of, and nobody claims wrecks, right? And that could have been easily one of those wrecks to where the 75 could have blamed the 2, and the 2 could have said, "Hey, 75, what the hell?"
Look at that lucky dog. Look who got the lucky dog back on the lead lap. 47, Ryan Hedrick, points leader.
Points leader back on the correct lap, and now he needs to get that thing repaired and see if he can potentially get that thing going in the right direction and make up some points here, because he is in desperate need. So
yeah, that's definitely what he needed. Now he can come in, make a pit stop because I believe he took the waiver on last time to get back to the 1 lap down, which was a great call. He had an early caution now, and that's a great. Got the Martin Sports Get a Grip lucky dog driver, Ryan Hedrick. So the points leader is back on the lead lap. That's exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, this is absolutely correct, and like I said, hopefully he can get that thing going in the right direction. He's going to need to, because Richie Coy right now still at your point, and he's just put on a tear. He's like Chuck Sweeting last week at Richmond. He's just, once he gets up front, the race is his. He's in absolutely full control. And speaking of full control, you want to have a lot of focus here on the racetrack. So no better way to do that than to put a Nerd Focus energy drink in your sim rig or in your center console, wherever you're going to drink your drink, and maintain your focus, whether it be on the steering wheel of your sim rig, or you're doing homework, or just trying to stay awake at the 2:30 p.m. time at your work. Whatever you're doing, Nerd Focus has got your back there, keeps you highly alert, and no crash too with that sugar-free drink. 2 awesome flavors, green and blue. Use Super Nerd to check out, 10% off of anything on their website.
Yeah, it's a great product. Definitely enjoy having one myself before I jump on these broadcasts or do a race. Have a sugar-free one. Try to take as much out as I can, so definitely highly recommend it. And don't forget that coupon code at checkout.
I always love saving the sugar for my drink so I can use them on cookies, but like Oreos,
cookies.
Oh yeah, that from the first couple of races when you had the Oreo car out there. But nonetheless, we're gonna go back to green flag action here. Richie Coy waiting for the premature Patrick to actually throw that flag. He just kind of holding it there, saying, "Hey guys, this is my flag." But green flag is out, and he finally throws it. Yeah, he's getting later and later, Ken. I'm not sure what he's doing up there, but Richie Coy with an awesome restart over Brandon Utter. This time, Wayne Grassie's not going to be able to take that opening door. He's going to fall back to third real quick. Single file for the top 5 already.
Yeah, great jump there by Richie. I mean, Richie Coy's just been on tonight. But Brandon Utter showing a strong battle there. Since the start, like I said, he had a great practice run, and he's still showing a strong run up here in the top 3 as he's fighting off Wayne Grassie for that second spot. And Ryan Hedrick had another caution. He got a yellow flag out, early one.
Yep. 4th caution this evening on lap number 79, it looks like, and it's going to be this time the number 44 of Chris Beck and turn number 1 and 2. We're going to see if he had any help doing so. Initially, I think it might have been his car getting loose, but we're going to see right here. We see Gil Gawk on his inside, and maybe gave 85 not enough room to enter that corner. That was a really close call. Good camera shot, by the way, but I think he just cut him down just a little too close, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. Just maybe a little racing where they would, kind of, like you said, punch down a little bit and going sideways. And luckily, no one else was run into him. So just kind of go get some fresh tires. And it depends. He might not even spun that bad, so he might keep it going.
Yeah, it was just no contact really there. So you see right here on the right front. Yep, just a couple. First touch didn't do anything. The second touch said, "See you later." But Gil Gawk did an excellent job hugging that curb there on the bottom. So I really don't feel like he did anything wrong. It's just close quarters racing in Martinsville.
Yeah, that's just hard racing out there. We got looks like Chuck Sweeting is going to be our lucky dog recipient of this one. So that's going to put everyone back on the lead lap. We're going to have 18 cars back on your lead lap right now.
You love to see it, and that's one good thing about having cautions is you bring all the lap guys back down into the same race, and they're no longer trying to battle for being lucky dog. They're all there contending for the race now. So you see right now Chuck Sweeting go around the top side, getting his lap back there. Go get a grip there, Mr. Chuck Sweeting. It's going to be the last car tail end of the field. He'll be starting this thing in 18th.
That's good. It's nice to see everyone back here on the lead lap and kind of restacking back up. And we got Tony Solari. Looks like he's sitting down in 18th, so I'm imagining he made a pit stop there. We saw him up front running 4th position, I believe, before that little incident there with Casey McMullen and Brandon Elder. But that'll put him, well, it looks like it'll be 17th because we got Brian Dubois coming in for his pit stop. We kind of shuffled this field around a little bit. Still got Richie Coy, Brian Elder, Wayne Grassie. They're all right at the top. But this mid-pack's kind of shifting up as we see Ryan Hedrick's moved in the 14th.
Yeah, Tony Solari came down pit road, got some damage worked on. He had about a 20-second stop, so he just wanted to pull the fenders out and try to relieve that car of any type of aerodynamic disadvantage, which Martinsville, you don't really have that. But if you can get anything out of that thing to maybe get one more position in the field, then why not go ahead and do it? You still got over 100 laps left in this thing, and at this rate, you're probably gonna have another caution or two, so you won't lose too much ground, I would think.
Yeah, there's plenty of time, so might as well come in, get it done. There's going to be more. I'm sure it is Martinsville, as clean as these guys are. It's just it's one of those tougher tracks, that paperclip style track. It's just, especially coming off of 2 tonight, it's been a little challenging. So we might see another caution or two. So take advantage of them. Come on in and see what happens, and get as much damage fixed as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. We got about half a lap before we're going to go green flag here. We're going to see the pace car dip down. On track time, it is 8:53 p.m. in Martinsville, Virginia, in the sim world. Waiting for the green flag. Don't pay attention to that flag, man. We know he's got like a 2,000 ping right now. Just doesn't know when to throw that thing. Green flag is out. Richie with an excellent jump. Once again, is going to clear Brandon Elder into turn number 1. And actually, we got a battle for third as they are side by side exiting turn number 2.
Great launch by Richie Coy. And look out behind in that third spot. You got Casey McMullen sitting back there in 5th. He's wanting to get around these guys and get back up to these top 3. So I expect him to make a look here on Sherwood Wilford as we see. Yep, he's going to go try and make it on the inside. Couldn't make it complete, but going to single file back out. But I expect Casey McMullen to make his way up here soon.
Yeah, he almost had an opportunity to get underneath Sherwood Wilford and just could not make it happen. But he'll give it another try here in the next couple laps or so. But currently sitting in 4th or 5th place rather. So he just got to get a couple more spots and be right exactly where he was. I know he wants to take one more try at Richie Coy out of maybe the next restart or so, but definitely has some work to do on his hands. Now these guys are all single file through the whole field until you get to about 13th place, and those guys just go single file as well. So that's going to put everybody on one road.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too. You had Kevin Rupert there in 14th with Ryan Hedrick right behind them. They were looking to make a move, but kind of fouled out. But we see Gil Gawker on their TVs making a pass here on Matty Watkins, and see if we can have the 67 of James Wallace kind of come in there as well and get a 2-for-1 on him. But Matty Watkins trying to hold his own on the high side.
This is the battle for 7th place. Gil Gawker does complete the pass, and he's going to bring James Wallace right with him.
Bunch of them.
Actually, Josh Johnson as well. So 3 cars go ahead and pass Matty. Matty's now falling back to the clutches of Steve Loomis there, who's currently sitting 11th. He's going to make his dip to the inside, and Watkins is going to lose 4 spots this lap.
Yeah, and I think he's still going to lose some more. You got Chris Beck going on the inside, and that's one of the things we were talking about earlier, Jeremy, where when you get stuck on that high side, you might just get freight train, and that's what's happened. That's about 5 spots. He's about to lose a 6th spot here. Kevin Rupert, you're going to have Chuck Sweeting that's going to follow up behind him. That's just Matty Watkins is falling back to the back in a hurry, and I don't know if this is by design, if this is a plan, or if he's just stuck on the high side and everyone's just taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I'm noticing that car is not rotating at center. You have to have that for an excellent drive off, and I just don't. His car's just not rotating, it looks like on my end. So he's battling a really tight race car, and if you're on the high side and you can't rotate, you're just in that train ride on the top side all the way to the back. And he did. He fell back from, 7th place. Now he's scheduled or 15th right now on the board. So he essentially lost half his spots just in those few laps.
Yeah, that was a big drop off. And if he makes his way back up, we'll see how that how he can turn it in the corners here. Now that he can get back on the bottom. But it's kind of looking back ahead. He's still got Richie Coy leading the way, but Brandon Elder, Jeremy, he's right on him. He's trying to make a move and try and get up there. He just pushed it right in that corner within a car length of him. So Brandon's trying to make a move here on Richie Coy.
This is the closest that Brandon Elder has benched Richie Coy after a few laps of green flag action, and that car looks like it's just getting a little better here as the laps tick away on these set of tires. It looks like Brandon's really good on center. If he can just get that exit speed, I think he might be there, but you see him right now on the entrance of 3, able to drive in nice and deep, gain some ground, and then turn 4, just lost it all up.
Yeah, he definitely has the drive in. You can see it in 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, but as you mentioned, Richie Coy just got a better drive off, so once Brandon gets there, he's going to have to figure out what he's going to do to get around him, because we know even if he goes on the inside of Richie Coy, I mean, look at Brandon Elder, look at how Richie was on the outside with Casey McMullen, so I don't think Casey's worried about if he's on the inside or the outside.
No, not really at all. And You know me, I like hugging that apron here, that curb rather, in Martinsville, and he's driving it in pretty low early, which I like that. But when he gets to that center of the corner now, I've noticed the past couple laps, the tires are starting to wear off on that 51 Camaro, and he's shifting up about a half a lane off the curb, which he's just scrubbing a bunch of time here. And as you notice, he's dropped 5/10 in the past few laps. Just right there again. He just can't grab that bottom, which Richie's been able to do this whole entire time, which I think is playing off to be the big difference.
Yeah, that's definitely, you can see it, and Richie's got this thing with the setup and the way that he's just driving this track. He has it down. He's got that line down. Hasn't missed a beat all race, so you can't fault that for him. But yeah, you can definitely see Brandon Elder falling back a little bit, and he's still making that drive in. You can still see him make the ground, but that exit off is where Richie really eats him up. And even though Brandon's gained some ground, Richie's still comfortably pulling ahead from him. As we're seeing on their TV here, a big mover right now, Jeremy, Steve Loomis. He started 19th, he's in 10th, and I think on that restart he might have even been in 15th or 16th, so he's making his way up as well.
Yeah, that's 7 spots gained. Actually, 9 spots gained for Mr. Steve Loomis, and Josh Johnson in front of him is also making a move. 7 spots gained since the start of the race. Those two guys in particular have been doing good, and they're actually leading a little bit of a train here, about a 7-car train here, nose to tail. As you see, Mr. Steve Loomis kind of pull away just a little bit from Chris Beck, but yeah, nice little battle here for the top 10, really.
Yeah, pretty much right there. You can see Chris Beck and on back. They're all single file, but they're really close to each other. And you can see Rob Shoemaker wanting to make it past there, and Chris Beck trying to figure out how with Chuck Sweeting right behind Kevin Rupert. So, as you mentioned, very close between these guys. And then looking just a touch further back, you see Brian Dublé sitting about midway through the backstretch with Richie Coy coming down on him in a hurry. So Richie Coy and then are going to be catching some lap traffic here within the next 10, 15, 20 laps or so.
And Matty Watkins off of turn number 4 had a little bit of a mishap too, got loose and allowed Brian Hedrick in the 47 and Tony Solari in the 11 to pass him on the outside as he gets a spot back now from Tony Solari on 4 this time around. But Matty Watkins has lost complete control of that car. It looks like he did fall back from that train, and then he's having a trouble even holding off the exit here, getting loose again on this exit. So that car has fallen off in a real steep decline here recently.
Yeah, and as we saw there on their TV, I think we caught it just at the end. Sherwood Wilford looks like he might have spun the tires coming off of 4, or he could have pulled over for Casey because he was a little faster. But either way, Casey McMullen was able to get by Sherwood Wilford there for that 4th spot. So now he's going to try and run down Wayne Grassy for the top 3, as we know he wants to get back up there and try to compete for the lead like he was early in this race and where he started this race.
As we all know, Casey McMullen does have a little bit of advantage on the long runs. Yep, caution is out for the 5th time this evening. It looks like it's going to be Ryan Hedrick, your points leader. And it looks like the purple machine number 17 or 37 rather of Brian Dublé on the exit of turn number 4, which, as you pointed out earlier, that's been like the treacherous spot on the track.
Yeah, and he was sliding up, and then Chuck Sweeting ended up getting into him as well. So Ryan's trying to lock it down and just happened to get some wreck there. And I saw he got Chris Beck. I would believe it was Chris Beck that got into that was the one spinning there with Chuck Sweeting. If I'm not mistaken, that ended up turning into Ryan Hedrick. So it's kind of those 3 there, Chuck Sweeting, Ryan Hedrick, and it looks like Chris Beck that started that whole incident there. Let's see if we can get it on their TV.
Yeah, I kind of misled Dustin in the booth there, trying to give us some action there from Brian Dublé, but when we saw it, it was just him parked on the front stretch. I thought it was him, but you were absolutely right. It was definitely the number 1 of Kevin Rupert and the 44 of Chris Beck. They're the one who caused that thing. Chuck Sweeting was involved. We saw Ryan got spun out because of it. Chuck Sweeting involved as well. So total of 4 or 5 cars in this thing.
Yeah, and looks like Ryan actually took a tow back to pit road, and his driver looks like he has exited the car for at the moment, so maybe he's getting some repairs done and see what's going on with that. That's going to put him 3 laps down, I'm sure a lot more, and that's going to put Chuck, Brian Dublé, and Chris Beck also a lap down because Chuck's going to have some damage on that as well. So we'll see what happens with those guys. Maybe we can get him back on the lead lap with a lucky dog or 2. But yeah, big hit for these guys.
Yeah, it's just you hate to see it. Like you saw the 44 and the 1 get together, and they drive off through the sunset, and you see the 47 and the 75 and the 37s kind of pay the price really here, as you see on board of Matty Watkins. And nice little bit of driving there to avoid both cars spinning in front of him. Drives through it unscathed, so good stuff there by Mr. Watkins.
Yeah, looks like I'm looking at Ryan Hedrick here on pit road. Looks like the driver got back into the car, so expect him to come back on pit road. So maybe he was just waiting on his toe and taking a look around at what happened. Hopefully he can get back out there, maybe make some laps and make up a spot or two. Definitely will need it because he's going to take a hit in the point. So we'll keep an eye on that, see what happens. But after those round of pit stops, looks like you're still going to have Richie Coy in first, Brandon Elder in second, and Casey McMillan in third.
Yeah, there's 3 cars 1 lap down before you find Ryan Hedrick 3 laps down. You need a total of 6 cautions to get back to where he needs to be. And while we're under commercial break, or caution rather, I'd like to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors. I want to thank Martin Sports because I destroyed your pre-race show plug. So I'd like to give it another try. At the end of the day, supply hoodies, shirts, hats, gloves. Got some nerd swag still on the way. It's getting closer. It's getting very close. And you're going to find all that stuff at martinsports906.com. Use Super Nerd at checkout. 25% off. Not many companies give 25% off just for listening in and knowing that we're here. But we're seeing the green flag back out here. In 3, 2, 1.
Green, green, green.
Don't watch the flagman. Richie Coy does set off there. A really nice start once again, as he's been doing every restart. This is the 6th restart of this evening, and he's getting really good at these. But Case McMullen found the way early with a nice launch himself, and he has finally found himself back in second.
Right where he was looking for. Got a little blink there from Wayne, but he's back. No big deal. Casey's looking to get back into that top 2 and make a run here at Richie Coy. Not that Brandon Elder hasn't been, giving Richie a fight, but I think so far tonight, Casey's been the one to give Richie the most fight. And with him back in second, we expect to see something as I see Rob Shoemaker going on making a pass there on the outside of James Wallace. And that actually, no, that is Rob Shoemaker. Yep, made a pass there on the outside. He passed 2 of them, actually. Ooh, as we see Matty Watkins inside wall. Looks like Kevin Rupert as well, maybe. Hard hit on the inside wall.
Heavy impact. And Rob Shoemaker actually missed the corner in turn number 1 and 2. And he made his ground up. Awesome drive off the corner. But yeah, right after that, Matty Watkins gets super loose on the front straightaway and just wrecked the number 1 of Kevin Rupert really hard as they both slammed the inside retaining wall there. So heavy nose damage from both. And it looked like Kevin Rupert's car too, Ken, stuck on the wall, virtue of the wall glitch.
He's number 1, and now he is 1 with the wall. So I think that is going to be a tow, which is unfortunate. And as I, kind of heard on the radio chat, Matty Watkins said that's the first time that he's been loose off a corner all night. And unfortunately, you have Kevin Rupert right there as he comes off, and that's just going to kind of take Kevin out. And like I said, he's going to have to take a tow on that. So that's going to put him multiple laps down, and that's unfortunate for him.
You have me dead here in my seat with he's number 1, now he's 1 with the wall. I don't think I have a dad joke or a pun to follow that up the rest of the evening. I think you're going to take that one. I mean, you hate to see it, but I can point out a good joke whenever that comes up. So you see the 44 getting his lap back as he zooms by everybody there. So it looks like he's going to be your lucky dog award winner presented by Martin Sports. Hashtag get a grip for that number 44, Chris Beck. You'll get yourself a lap back. Going to put you back with the lead lap with everybody else. So it gives you another chance to get things done. He's been up there pretty good, about midfield. With them getting back on the lead lap, I expect him to be past some cars here as soon as the green flag flies. Yeah,
he's coming down pit road, and looks like Tony Solari came down as well. Of course, you're going to have the 2, Kevin Rupert, who had to take a tow, and then Matty Watkins is down there, get some damage fixed. And, of course, he's got the modified now, so he'll be able to make it. But, why not come on down, like I said, especially Chris Beck, who's got his lap back. So that's going to put 14 back on the lead lap. Still going to leave Chuck Sweeting, Brian Dublé 1 lap down, and then Kevin Rupert's dropping some laps, which I'm expecting he's going to have some damage to fix after getting stuck into the wall. And Ryan Hedrick as well, he's sitting 10 laps down. He actually disconnected, so Ryan Hedrick is going to be out of this race. He is going to officially be in 18th. That is going to be a big points hit for him tonight. And we also have Matty Watkins, who is now disconnected as well. So that's going to put him in 17th. So we're going to have about 16 cars still out here racing, Jeremy. But Ryan Hedrick, big points implications tonight.
Yeah, I think you called it about 50 laps or so ago, or 60 laps when he first started having his issues, and I think you said Richie Coy finishes first and Ryan Hedrick finishes last, and there's going to be a points change here real soon, and or something around that nature, and it's exactly what's happening here. Ryan Hedrick has parked it. He will be done for this evening, officially in 18th place. So if Richie Coy does win this thing, they guys are going to be either 1 point or tied entering Bristol, which is kind of, even Casey McMullen is smiling too, because he's third in points and he's going to be about 15 to 20 points back of the points championship. So this kind of brings everybody in.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big hit for Matty too. Matty came into the points. He's your second leading rookie of the season. He was fourth in the points, 37 points back. So your two rookies leading the way are having some issues. So that's we're going to see the points change, and that's going to also break a streak of top 10s for Ryan Hedrick.
It really will. Yeah, that's also
green
true.
Flag, green flag.
See the green flag do fly though. This time you see Richie Coy in the bottom and Casey McMullen on the top. That did not last long. Casey now is going to slide just behind Richie Coy here. Brandon Elder gets a pretty good jump there, and Wayne Grass is not letting go on that top side.
No, Richie Coy's just had such a great jump on all these restarts and just not giving up. And as we see kind of a little battle there, you got the 3 and the 7 going at it. We also have the 2 of Rob Shoemaker with the 57 Josh Johnson that we're going side by side. So a little racy here in the back. As well as in the front, we're having a little bit of battle, but as we still see what we've been seeing all night, Richie Coy still leading the way.
Yeah, that Flow Racing Ford Mustang is on a rail so far on lap number 121 of scheduled 250. So we're just shy of the halfway point for you guys this evening at the Martinsville 250. Looks like Casey McMullen driving in really deep here into turn number 3. It looks like he might be starting to get some of that ground back that he lost on the initial start, virtue of Coy's awesome restart skills. Going on to the 17 here, Steve Loomis here on their TV for a replay action shot here. Chris Beck gets into the back bumper of him. That's going to put him in like the third time, I think, where he's been in a little bit of an issue here at Martinsville.
And now Chris Beck is a modified. So got a new car on the track. Nope. Now all of a sudden he's good again. So he looked like he was a modified for. Brandon Elder. It looks like he entered the pit road. Scott Woos there coming off a 2 and went right into pit road entrance there. That's blocked off. That is a big one. He was in third place.
But the car's stuck. He's trying to go forward, back. He has to park it and take the tow. That is, out of all the ways you can spin, this is a weird way to get stuck on the track. Watch this, guys. Right here, just boop. And he's wedged between 2 walls. He literally can't move. His car's stuck. It's perfect. The car can drive. Yeah, the odds are not on your favor. That third place running and doing an awesome job this evening, and that kind of thing ends your night.
I mentioned it, how he's been having a great practice sessions, great qualifying sessions. He gets in a race and he just has something happen, some bad luck happen to him. And if that right there doesn't show bad luck, I don't know what does, because the odds of getting stuck into that, I've never seen it before. Never seen it.
No, that's a first for me. I've seen cars go through there, maybe just goofing around, but I've never seen someone wreck and get wedged in there. That's super unfortunate. As our producer just said, Austin Power style.
Yep, just back and forth.
I don't know if you want that mojo with you, but that's just super bad luck. But we do have the back bumper Richie Coy on the screen here. Casey McMullen put some excellent pressure on Coy as he just actually lost it there in turn 1 and 2, just kind of overran that corner. But it looks like Brandon Elder's toe is finally done. The guys have jacked up and changed the left side tires, and we're working a little bit more damage since the toe just finished. He's going to be back in like 10 plus laps down. That pretty much seals it for him. He's not going to really do much with that. You see right now also at the 33 on your screen here, Mr. Sherwood Williford running in 4th place. And right now he's got behind him Kenneth Schultz, who's actually made up now a total of 8 spots. 130 laps ago is where he started.
Yeah, and kind of looking at Josh Johnson here, a couple of people, he's stuck on the high side again, and that high side, it's either gonna make it or it's gonna break. You got Rob Shoemaker made a pass on him. You got the 67 here making a pass, and as well as Chuck Sweeting trying to make a pass on him. So he might lose 3 spots just alone here on these last couple of laps. As it looks like he is going to. So that outside is somewhere you do not want to be.
No, I mean, these cars do rubber things in, but there's just not enough there to do anything with it. So the freight train effect is strong at Martinsville with these next-gen cars. It does look like anyways. And still overall good performance there. Divide that number 57. Still running about 5 spots further before he started. So on average, he's doing a pretty decent job out there. I do see right behind him Chris Beck in that modified that you called it.
Yeah, it came back around. I don't know what happened. It wasn't there. It was there. It wasn't there. Now it's back. So he got it back.
The car was trying to decide how it wanted to look, and I think it figured out what it wanted, and that's maximum airflow to that radiator. Just don't hit anybody else. Keep clear of that radiator. Make sure it's going to last you the rest of the race. But I want to kick it back. Go ahead.
I was going to say right behind them, Steve Loomis, and we know he had that little spin there that we showed there on our TV, and we know he was making up in that top 10 before we had that last caution. So I expect him to try and make a move back around these guys because he's got the car. Just kind of had that little spin there in the turn and lost a couple spots, but I expect him to make his way back up. But like you were saying, back to the front there, Richie and Casey are still battling it out as Richie's only got 0.3 of a second lead there on Casey McCollum.
Yeah, they've left Wayne Grassi in third on back. It's just a 2-car battle for the race lead. About 0.4 separates the 19 from the 71 as they're coming up on lap number 136 of scheduled 250, so just past the halfway point. One thing you do notice is those brake rotors. You can tell those things they're glowing. They're not even on the straightaways. They're not even cooling off at all. So thankfully iRacing doesn't have any brake wear per se, but it does play a part into your tire wear, because the hotter the brakes get, the more air pressure builds up in these tires, and you got to keep care of the brakes just a little bit.
That brake glow there is just perfect with Casey's paint scheme. I mean, you have the orange wheels, you have the orange on the numbers, a little bit of orange on the kind of the outer lines there. So that's a perfect little look for him. But yeah, I love seeing the glow of these brakes, and especially under the lights, it just makes it, you can see it so much more, so it just makes it so much better. But you can definitely tell these guys are pushing it and heating those brakes up, as they're going to go put Brian Dublé, put him back, I believe, going to be 2 laps down after that one, so that'll put Chuck Sweeting in the first car 1 lap down in that lucky dog position if we have another yellow.
Brian Dublé gave them a whole continent of space there to let them pass, so safe and secure. They go around the number 37 in that black and purple machine, and it's going to leave another decent amount of space between these guys before they get to their next car that could go 1 lap down. Looks like the next car to do so would be back in third corner right now, Tony Solari. So they got a while to go before they get to somebody, but yeah, just them two duking out. They're 6.5 tenths away from each other. And a pretty good battle here once again from the 57 and the 44 for just inside the top 10.
Yeah, with right behind them you have Steve Loomis still and Tony Solari just kind of riding, but those 4 are about the closest I think we have on the track. Everyone else is kind of spaced out, as we see Richie Coy almost putting 7 tenths on Casey, so he's starting to take it in. As we got a little pass here, Chris Beck in that modified is actually making a pass there on Josh Johnson as he. Looks like right-hand turn. Yeah, he's trying to complete the pass. Josh Johnson's still hanging on that side. Nope, he's going to complete it this time as they're coming around. He's going to take that spot over from Josh Johnson as they're going to come around in 3 and 4.
As you're visually seeing that aesthetics do not count in this race, the 44 has no front bumper and still able to make passes onto a car that looks relatively clean. Maybe just a little bit of crumpleness on the right rear. Outside of that car was looking pretty sharp, so does not matter what your car looks like as long as it drives good per setup. I think it's going to put you in a good spot here. And right behind the 57, the 17 and 11 are also putting heavy pressure on him as well. So pretty intense battle here still for the top 10.
Yeah, they're trying to get that top 10 spot, Jeremy, and get as much points as they can. And we still got a long way to go. We're about 144. We're at 144 of 250, so we're coming to about 100 to go. Plenty of time. we still got time to get to it, but I think we're going to about 100 to go. What do you think we hit y'all with a little commercial break?
Yep, we should definitely go ahead and do that for you guys. You're reading my mind, so we're going to step away for just a few moments and give thanks visually to everybody that's out there that we need to thank for the nerditude. So we'll be right back after a few short messages. Guys, welcome back. Not much has gone on to the track since we went to commercial break for you guys about 10 laps ago. We still see Richie Coy at the point here, only 4/10 now over Case McMullen, as Case McMullen does have that long run car just like he has each and every weekend.
Yeah, and he dominated in the truck race a little bit too at the start. He led 67 laps, had a little incident and didn't quite get the finish that he wanted, but Richie's got this place mapped out. He knows how to get around here, and he's got a fast car, but Case McMullen's trying him. He's making his way back up. Like I said, he's gained about 3/10 since the last time I mentioned, how far back he was. So Casey's not giving up just yet.
No, I expect him to be at the bumper here momentarily, because that car always is impressive on the long runs. And they're also coming up against some lap traffic here. They're about 2 seconds back of Steve Loomis and Tony Solari, who are on the same straightaway right now as your race leaders. So that could play to effect a little bit in Casey McMullen's favor.
Yeah, this could be what Casey McMullen needed, and like we said, even with the damage, it's not that big of a deal as far as on this track. So he's still getting by no problems. It's just there's something about being Richie Coy as far as your car's still intact, no dents on it or anything like that. I know I'll kick myself when I can go pretty much the whole race and I barely touch the wall. I'm like, great, got one little scrape on. It doesn't mean it changed my position. It's just like I was trying to have a perfect race, but it is what it is, and he's still fighting for it. So you have two different perspectives. You got a car that's had some damage and one that's clean as can be. And here at Martinsville, it doesn't matter. They're still racing basically at the same speed.
Yeah, it shows how being in the lead the entire time pays off, right? When you can control the race, the restarts, all that good stuff. You don't have to battle anybody when you can be faster than everybody, right? So, except going through these lap down cars, which, you know, at Full Throttle Sim Racing, they're pretty respectful overall, and they give tons of room. But right now, there's some good battles going on just in front of them. So, this might be a little bit of a harder attempt to get around some of these guys. These three guys in front have been basically battling for the past 30 to 40 laps, nose to tail. So let's see how much room they give up over to Richie Coy.
Yeah, he's coming, and you know they are fighting for the stay on the lead lap and for position. So we'll see how much. And we know Tony Solar and Richie Coy are teammates, so that one won't be much of a battle. But we'll see how the other guys do. We know this is a respectful league, but at the same time, you're trying to stay on the lead lap and not lose a spot. So if they do give it up, I expect them to kind of try and get back in line, because they're going to be just catching the next guy in front of them who's going to be the lucky dog recipient. So we'll see how this kind of plays out here as he's making his way through lap traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. And quick update on Brandon Elder. It looks like that engine has expired in pit road after getting all that damage repaired. So looks like his night is completely done. Kicking back over to the race lead. Richie Coy is about, a couple corners away from getting to the bumper of Steve Loomis. And right now, the 17 and the 57 don't show any effort to move high, except for right when I just talked about it. The 17 kind of almost looked like he missed the corner, but right now Richie's on his bumper.
Yeah, and kind of looked like he was going to give it up, and it looks like he does give it up to Richie. So he fought it for a little bit, and Casey loved all that, because you can tell Richie definitely backed it off while these guys were going, and he closed right up to him. But then, as you see right there, Richie pulled away just a little bit, but that's going to put Steve Loomis on, in a tough situation. You want to be the respectful driver and let him go, but at the same time, you're going to lose some spots there on Josh Johnson if he gets put a lap down. So he's hoping maybe Josh should do the same thing and let him go low, and he can suck right back up to him, and they'll have a race for that lucky dog. But sometimes that happens, as we see Richie Coy going here on the inside of Josh Johnson. Casey McMullen's going, and Steve Loomis might actually make as I'm talking about. Yep, it looks like he's in the wall. Josh Johnson, and Steve Loomis is going to make the pass, so he's going to actually be your lucky dog first runner up for it.
Yeah, Josh just gave way too much room there on the top and slides it up to that corner as well, and he's going to drop back a decent amount. Now he falls back behind even Tony Solari. So Steve Loomis, like you said, does take the top spot one lap down. So if there were to be a caution right now, he is up a point. And so Tony Solari now needs to get back to that 17, because he knows that's the way back to the lead lap.
Yeah, but they're coming up quick with Chris Beck. They're about to, looks like, no, Chris is going to still run his line and try to hold it, but Casey's going to look on the high side. Richie kind of pulls up a little bit, might be throwing a little bit of a block on him. Looks like Chris Beck's going to let him go here on the inside, and I expect Casey McMullen to follow right in suit, and that's going to put these three guys back fighting for position. Steve Loomis is going to try to make another little attempt here as Tony Solari gets a little loose. Nope. But they're going to have a little battle there, and it's going to be a little bit ahead until we can get to the next car that might be a lap down of James Wallace, who's sitting about half a track, maybe 3/4 a track ahead of our race wheel. Ooh, as we see on your TV, Steve Loomis into the wall.
Heavy contact to the inside wall. The 7th caution of this evening is out on lap 116. And after he watched the replay of the 17 wreck, he came back onto the racing surface, did a burnout, and came right across the nose of the 85 of Gil Gawk.
So things just got bad to worse there, as we see it here on their TVs. Fighting for it. Just a little bit of Chris Beck got on his inside. He's trying to get that first spot of lucky dog, and kind of gave it to him there. And as we see here, as Jeremy was mentioning, we'll see him do a burnout, and yep, just too much, and Gil Gawk was there, and that is unfortunate for both those drivers.
Not to mention, too, that's the 3rd time this evening that the 17 and the 44 have made contact with each other. I think that's the 2nd caution brought out by them two in particular. It doesn't look like anything, intentional-wise, but it's just been super unfortunate timing for them two to get together. Those guys are running really close time-wise this entire race, and so that kind of thing does tend to happen. But coming back onto the racing surface in front of the 85 is, really tough there.
Yeah, it is, and as we see, Casey McMullen's going to come off pit road first, and that's going to put Richie Coy in second. So that's going to change it up a little bit, Jeremy. We had him come in 1-2, and they flip-flopped on that one. So we'll see where these setups are coming in place and who's kind of got it dialed in. And speaking of dialed in setups, Jeremy, I think we might have somebody for that.
You know, if you head over to www.moonlightspeed.com, they have awesome setups on the asphalt side of things. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Those guys put together professional-like setups, and they are super dominant. I'm fortunate to use some of them this week in particular with the late models, and that thing drives insanely well. Short run, long run, it does not matter. It just feels like it's on a fresh set of tires. If you want to drive similar setups like that, just head over to moonlightspeed.com and check out all their pricing plans to get yourself in victory lane.
And sometimes if your name is J Stan Jeremy over here in the booth with me, you kind of leave the qualifying setup on and run that thing a little hot, but still pull away with the win. So either way, if you're running the qualifying or the race setup, you still got a good setup for the race.
You know, and it worked. It worked. The tape wasn't, I guess, hot or taped up enough to, mess me up. So, even if you run a qualifying setup, you can still make the entire race. I ran out of fuel too at the start-finish line at USA, so it helped me get to my first win of the year. So that's pretty impressive. I want to kick it back over to Case McMullen, who took 2 tires. That's why he was able to get around Richie Coy in that pit stop. Took 2 right side tires. Richie Coy took 4. That gave him the lead advantage, and we should be seeing Casey, start this thing off here in about a half a lap. And this is the first time Casey's been on the bottom and Richie's been on the top since the first 2 restarts 170 laps ago. We'll see if they can kind of produce what they did on those opening laps where they were side by side, or will that 2 tires be a disadvantage? And will Richie Coy get an excellent start to regain that lead? We will find out here in just a few moments as they wait for the iRacing official green flag to be out. Green flag is out. Richie Coy just excellent on these restarts, and they get the same thing, but Case McMullen loose into that corner, able to save it, and they're still side by side.
He saw that jump that Richie got and he had to make it up, and he pushed it and got a little bit in that grass, but he was able to hold on to it, and he's still driving hard into his corner turn. He wants to get around Richie and try and get this lead out there. Looks like he's going to clear him, and he's going to take this thing slowly in P1 as they're heading into 1 and 2. That's exactly what Casey McMullen wanted.
Yeah, I'm surprised he was able to keep that lead. He got super loose there in turn number 1. Was able to save it, no problem. Now he's got about a car length of 2 over Richie, and Richie knows he can't give that up.
2 in the wall.
Yep, 2 in the wall. 8th caution is out of this evening. We're going to see exactly what happened there. Looks like maybe Gil Gawk was involved. We're going to kick it back over on Nerd TV and see exactly what happened. But right now, it looks like it might have been the 85 and the 67 potentially of James Wallace.
Yeah, I believe you're correct on that one. I was kind of looking back through as we'll show here on Nerd TV. But it looks like James Wallace is going to go on the inside, and kind of like we saw earlier, just a little tap of the rear, and there goes around Gil Gawk, and Ryan Dubois loaded up a little bit, got to the wall, got around him, but no additional damage done. But just not a good night for Gil. He's not having a good night in there, kind of falling into some incidents and having some spins, but he's still fighting for a top 10.
Yeah, I did notice the 67 on that camera angle that Dustin produced there, that his left front tire did lock up. They just applied too much brake. The car did lock up. You're going to see it right here getting turn number 3. And when you can read the Goodyear text right there, that's all she wrote. Sent that nose right into the left rear of the 85, and caution's out.
We saw that a lot, yesterday in the in real life, or not yesterday, sorry, Saturday night with these guys, and qualifying more so. But yeah, they'd walk it up just a little bit, and incidents like that, you wash up just a touch, and unfortunately, Gil Gawk was there, and James Wallace just touched him ever so slightly, but it was enough to spin him around. Looks like they were in about 7th or 8th, so not too bad as far as where he's going to end up after everything's said and done. He might even be back to kind of where he was because everyone's taking a pit stop, but with so many guys that got lapped there by Richie Coy's awesome run, that kind of helped Gil Gawk not lose too many spots.
No, just a couple, but 4 set of tires, and he's good to go on that end. I know Case McMullen did not want to see that caution because now he has to, clear the 19 once again on a restart. And we know the 19's been pretty dominant, even keeping up with the lead cars. So let's see if he can do that again. And since we're on a caution here, I'd like to give a quick shout out as well to Sim Racing Points, the official sponsor of the Wednesday night truck series that we bring to you guys every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sim Racing Points, it's that points league management system. That's an admin's best friend. Does all the work behind the scenes, math-wise, to bring you the updated points with just a few simple clicks after you upload the export into that software. It is an awesome product for any admin to get their hands on if you want to have a clean-looking page of everyone's stats, whether it be looking for results or you're looking for points or whatever the case is. That's the software program for you, and you're going to find all their stuff at simracingpoints.com.
Yeah, it's a great product. I mean, we're looking to use it ourselves here, so it's one that definitely give it a shot and give it a try. And it looks like I think we're going to come down the green flag on this next go around. I believe that the pace car lights are out, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll watch this flag man wave the flag after the cars go under here in just a moment.
Yeah, he likes to wave that thing really, really late. I don't know if premature Patrick's the name. He waves it after the word, so we got to come up with something a little different. He's not early anymore. But there he is, waiting for these cars to get all the way to turn 2 before he waves that thing. Green flag is out. Casey McMullen, Richie Coy still side by side, entering number 1 and turn number 2. And it looks like we're going to be calling him Late Lenny, apparently. We'll see if that one sticks. Premature Patrick was pretty good, but Late Lenny might have to be the new thing. But Casey McMullen gets Richie almost clear there, exiting number 4. They're diving into 1 and 2 again. Looks like Casey will do it this time, and he got around the 19, which is excellent for him.
Yeah, and you can see Richie try making a crossover, see what he can do on the inside, but just decided to put it back in, and I expect him to kind of ride this line of Casey and see if he can make a move. We know Richie has the cars. He's all over the back bumper of Casey McMullen. With Kenneth Schultz, nice run for Kenneth Schultz today, sitting in 3rd place right now. He's looking to get a nice little podium finish out of all this, but Wayne Grassy, if he has anything to say with it, he's going to try and get himself one as well.
Yeah, Kenneth in that 91 started in 13th. He's now found his way up to 3rd, and he's competing. He's staying up there holding on to Casey and Richie. So maybe we might see a late race push for some guy to take these two off their thrones here. But Wayne Grassy going to the inside of the 91, at least taking a look, does not make it happen this time around. You'll see Kenneth Schultz keep that position momentarily. As actually Wayne puts a heavy pressure to the 91 and turns him and himself into turn number 1. Heavy impact. Caution is out for the 9th time this evening on lap 187.
I feel like that might be a little bit of a broadcaster's curse there. We were just talking about those two. Kenneth Schultz was having a great run with Wayne Grassy right behind him, and that is unfortunate. And not too bad. It looks like Kenneth Schultz got going again, didn't lose too much, and not too bad. Just kind of backed it in the wall a little bit. We'll take a look here on Nerd TV as you see Wayne Grassy and Kenneth Schultz going up just a little touch there, a little too hot, hit the inside wall, and I think Kenneth Schultz just kind of backed it in a little bit, but he got going pretty quick there, Jeremy.
Yeah, it almost looked like Kenneth thought he was going to be clear, and Wayne at the same exact time was like, I'm going to make a good dive into this quarter and get him. And it was a 100% racing incident, but when you come down to just over 50 laps into a Martinsville race, it's go time. So he saw the lane, he wanted to take it, and it just got closed up a little too early, and unfortunately, that will cost Kenneth Schultz, who we did talk about, started 13th, was in 3rd when he got wrecked there. So right now he scored 6th place, so not too far back like you said, but you got to be thinking about them tires.
Yeah, and that's going to put the 44. It's going to give him the lucky dog in that modified that's going around as we see. So we see him going around to get that lucky dog. That's going to put us to 11 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, it looks about 11 cars at this time, with Chris Beck coming back around for his I think that's his lucky dog, so that's going to be your Martin Sports Get a Grip Lucky Dog Award recipient. That'll be, like Kenny said, 11 cars back onto the lead lap now. Just over half the field, really, as everybody else is 2 laps down or more. Only 3 in contention, being Brian Dublé, Tony Solari, and Steve Loomis. You're 2 laps down each, and then Loomis is in 4 laps down, rather.
Yeah, so on this restart, we're going to see Casey McMullen. I'm assuming who's going to take the inside, and Richie will probably go on the outside. And they're going to have a great little battle there, I would imagine, because Richie Coy gets such a great jump. But Casey McMullen, he dove it in there, and he made it stick. So I expect him to keep it going and keep that good run.
Speaking of Casey, I think we're going to try to actually, we haven't done this only one time really. I want to bring him in here into the booth and see if we can get a really quick word with him. Let's see if he is able to do so. Casey McMullen, this is Jeremy in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
You got a lap and a half before you go green. I just want to ask you a quick question. How's that car doing, and do you think you have enough to keep the 19 behind you?
Oh, I think it's doing all right for all the damage it has, but we'll see. It's important to be out front and see if I can just stick on the bottom, see if I can hold him off or not. But he's got a really good car tonight, so either way, first or second would be great. Even third would be good.
Absolutely, man. I want to bring you back down. Good luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you when this thing's all said and done.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate Casey for having a quick word with us before we go back to green flag action. We're going to have just over 50 laps remaining in this race, which we'll have that thing kick off for the 9th official restart of this evening. We're going to wait for now. Late Larry, sorry we gave you a name change mid-race, but
Swap.
you deserve it. So they're swapped, yeah, either one.
Green.
But green flag is out. Casey McMullen with a good launch this time over Coy as they're side by side at turn 1, and looks like Casey might be able to clear Richie just so close, but not quite enough. We're probably gonna get it done here in turn number 3. Richie likes to drive that thing in really deep in the corner and actually stuck that time. As Kenny, they're going to stay side by side during on the front stretch here.
Yeah, they are. And Kenny Schultz back there got a little high in turn 3 and 4 and kind of came down and bumped into Chuck Sweeting there, but they kept it going straight. But those two, Casey and Richie, had a great start. You can see him just jump on Sherwood and Rob, but Casey's holding it down on the bottom as he was mentioning there, and Richie Coy's on the high side, but Richie's going to bring it back, and I think we're kind of back to what we had right before that caution where they're 1 and 2 right on his bumper.
What I'm super impressed about is Casey McMullen and Richie Coy, as they were side by side, they were still pulling away from third place Sherwood Williford. So it really just shows the speed these two cars have, especially when you're at Martinsville side by side. You typically lose a lot of ground, but not these two. But Richie Coy's putting an immense amount of pressure. And as we have the 10th caution of this evening, we're going to figure out where that happened. Not entirely sure. I don't see it just yet.
It was right in front of him, and I think he exited out of the car because those leaders were coming, and I don't think he won the call as an issue. As I was watching it there, and it looks like the car just disappeared, so he must have towed it back to the pits to avoid that. As you saw Richie Coy kind of swerve up to the top side.
And for the 4th time this evening, it looks like the 44 and the 17 collected each other. Yeah, and that was right in front of the leaders. You are correct. You're going to see it right here. 44 just drives it in super deep, and I mean, I don't want to call Matt Kenseth Joey Logano, but it wasn't as hard of a drive-in, but it almost looked like he could have made the corner there.
Yeah, and those two look like they've been kind of having a battle and some racing incidents, maybe some retaliation, but either way, track, these guys, like I said, they're so respectful to each other, so it could just be one of those Martinsville incidents. You see a couple guys come on pit road here. We have the 57 here on pit road of Josh Johnson. Looks like we have the 85 of Gil Goff that's also on pit road, so they're going to come in, get some repairs done to their car and some service. But what a great drive between these two of Richie Coy and Casey McMullen. I was about to mention before that caution that you could see Richie was gaining some ground trying to get that inside, and Casey was blocking it. And it looks like he overdrove the corner just a bit while he was trying to stay on that inside, so not giving it to Richie.
Yeah, you have to, when you got that much pressure, you got to do everything you can, and sometimes a slight mental lapse is all it's needed. And if Richie keeps putting that pressure on him, he might open that door for him. But speaking of Richie too, we're gonna see if maybe we can get him into this, into here. Richie Coy, do you have a copy?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey man, currently sitting in second place. You have a hell of a car. You have a hell of an opponent in front of you of Casey McMullen. What is it going to take for you to get back around that number 71 Chevrolet?
Some green flag laps. I need a couple laps. I can't seem to The outside's kind of gone away. It's not as good as it was in the beginning, so he gets me off here on the starts, and I just need a couple laps to get him, set him up, and see if I can't get by him.
Yes, sir. You're putting a hell of a show out there for us. A lot of good side-by-side action. Yeah, hopefully we can talk to you on the podium here in about 50 laps or so, but good luck to you the rest of the way.
Appreciate it, guys. Good luck, guys.
Thank you. And that was number 19 of that Ford Mustang Flow Racing machine of Richie Coy. And appreciate him for the time to talk to him, at least a question anyways. You know, we're 4/5 away, or done with this race, so we got 1/5 left of 50 laps, and pretty impressive run like we keep talking about, Kenny, with the 71-19.
Yeah, the 71-19, definitely the cars to beat tonight, and you know, we kind of talked about it earlier, was Casey McMullen had that mishap. I think he was back in 6th, maybe even 7th, and was making his way back up, and when we were saying as soon as he gets back up to the lead, we're going to see a battle between these two, and sure enough we are, and Richie called it, and we kind of alluded to it a little bit, where after 3 or 4 laps we saw Richie kind of making that dive on the inside, and he just proved it to us right there that a couple laps to get going for him, and his car kind of comes in. So if we can get some green flag runs going, I think we're going to see a great race between these two.
Yeah, I think he wants the green flag more so just because of the fact that 71's on 2 tires on that last stop. So that's why he was able to get the lead and keep it up at this point. But pace car is down. Let's see if the 19 can get exactly what he wants, which is green flag laps to round out this race with 49 laps to go. Green flag is out. Casey with a great start, but Richie Coy able to match his energy there on the restart. Side by side in exiting turn number 2, and once again, just like the last couple restarts, Casey is so close, but actually able to get it done this time as they go single file into 3.
Yeah, Casey was able to clear him. It took about a lap or 2, but not this time. He was able to get off and get that spot, but Richie's looking to come back and make a fight on the inside, and I think he's going to kind of push Casey and see if maybe he can make a mistake and wash up a little bit and capitalize on that and make his way back into that lead lap. So these are the two that definitely keep an eye on, but we do have some battles back through the field, Jeremy, as this race is kind of coming, winding down these last 50 laps here.
It looks like 5th place is heating up pretty good here, as you see Rob Shoemaker currently in 6th, putting some pressure on James Wallace, who just got passed, it looked like, by Chuck Sweeting, which, by the way, he's in 4th place in that modified Gator Racing Chevrolet. That's the highest we've seen him, you know, basically since the start of the race when he started in 6th. So he's finally found something and making some moves.
Yeah, he's capitalizing on everything that's going on. Yeah, he's had some damage, but he's making his way up through there, and a 4th is going to be a nice solid finish. It's definitely going to help with his points. I mean, he's sitting in 8th place, and we had some mishaps. I mean, Kenneth Schultz is still running pretty good as far as Wayne Grassy, Sherwood Wilford, all those, but you got Ryan Hedrick and Matty Watkins. Those two are out, so they're going to gain a little bit on that and kind of bring their way up. So he's looking to maybe get a podium finish, get another top 3. Maybe we'll be speaking with Chuck Sweeting after all.
We'll see, but we got right now potential lead change. 71 gets loose on the exit of turn number 4. It allows Richie Coy to take that position over. Sherwood Williford's put himself in position now for potentially passing it for 2nd place. And there's that Chuck Sweeting in that 75, waiting for these guys to go single file to make his move.
Yeah, that was he got a little loose there, and luckily held on to it and saved it, and was able to stay ahead of Sherwood there and keep that 2nd spot. But that's what Richie wanted. Richie wanted green flags the most, and that's what he's getting. And then that little mishap there from Casey is definitely going to help Richie gain that lead a little bit. I think he's just a touch under a 2nd ahead of them right now, so we'll see kind of where they fan out. But you know, don't forget though, Casey McMullen has those 2 tires, and Richie Coy's got 4.
Yeah, it's the only difference there with the Casey showing a little bit of looseness there. It could be that offset balance of the fresher tires on the right side that could have potentially made him do that. So let's see if Richie can take full advantage of it. You know, we got 40 laps to go. I think he definitely has the car to do it, and he's still slightly pulling away too. But I think Casey's got himself regrouped, and if that long run shows up, if we go green the rest of the way, he might be able to get back up there and maybe contend again.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see kind of what happens. I know, right, he said he was content with the 2nd, 3rd, even 4th, but I think he preferred the 2nd, so he's going to try and be putting a little block there in Sherwood and Chuck Sweeting as these races wind down. As we see Chuck right here on Nerd TV, trying to make a move, make himself into that 3rd position. Needs to get around Sherwood Wilford, who's been having a great run this season as well. You know, quietly just been kind of hanging around. Sherwood has. He's he's had about five top tens, 4 top 5s, and he's got the 1 win. So and he's missed 1 start too. Mentioned. So he's only made 1 less start than these guys, and he's sitting in 5th in points. So that's quite impressive in itself.
Oh yeah, it shows the speed, and he's been making a killing these past 4 or 5 weeks, just getting better and better. And he saw last week he just completely made Richmond his hometown there, his home track, so to speak. So he definitely has the speed in that thing, and he's putting some good pressure on that 33. Gets an excellent launch off the exit of turn number 2. Will dip down to the bottom of Sherwood Williford, drives it in deep, clears him no problem. New 3rd place person, Mr. Chuck Sweeting.
And that modified sitting there in 3rd place. That's going to be a good run, and he looks like he's trying to make a run here on Casey McMullen. So if we can see him kind of move up there, kind of reminds me of a little Dale Jr. action all these years ago when he kind of looked like that and was making his way up trying to get that win as well. So we might see him honestly pass Casey McMullen if this thing goes green, Jeremy. We got looking at about 35 laps to go or so. So he's got time. He's definitely got time and kind of winding these laps down, but we might see him take him over here in these upcoming laps.
Yeah, you never know, Mr. Chuck. And now that car looks like it's a completely different animal than what it was the first half of this race. He's got something dialed in, and he's actually making big gains on that 71 now. Casey McMullen maybe kind of split up this 2-car party here that we've had for the good half of this race. So that might happen here in just a few short laps.
Yeah, and I don't think Richie wants to hear this, but if we happen to have another yellow, I'd like to see. Oh, as we, I might have just, said it right there. As we see on no TV, is we're gonna have a little spin around there of the 2 of Rob Shoemaker, and I think that was the 7 there of Wayne Grassy. Because what I was getting ready to say, Jeremy, is I'd like to see this modified of Chuck Sweeting trying to make a run for this top 3 and see what he can do with these guys.
Get that sim racing diecast made with no bumper. That'd be a car to have. But it looks like turn number 4, Rob Shoemaker just kind of diamonds the corner. I don't know if it's because he overdrove it, and when he came back down, I don't think Wayne thought that he would make that diamond entrance into 4. And it collected them, spun out the number 2, and it brought out to your 11th caution on lap 216.
Ooh, and Richie Coy with the fake. And Casey McMullen's going to come down, and there is no one else coming back with him until I think about 6 on back of Kenneth Schultz. So that was 7th place. So it looks like you're just going to have a couple here on pit road, but that's going to put Casey back there. Now, he did have the 2 tires, so he's going to have to make his way up through the field. But with this restart to go, we might have about 25 laps to go. Hey, that's going to put that modified of Chuck Sweeting sitting there right on the outside of Richie Coy, unless Richie Coy's going to take that outside. As we see, Tony Solari also got the lucky dog, put him back on the lead lap.
Yeah, all the restarts have been done on the bottom this time. I don't expect anything different, but yeah, new person in 2nd place. We have no idea what his car looks like when it's right next to the race lead. So let me see Tony Solari getting your Martin Sports Lucky Dog recipient award. Hashtag get a grip, lucky driver. So go and get your lap back, man. It's going to put you on the lead lap. It's going to bring 12 total cars on the lead lap here to try to finish out these last 30 laps, probably 28 or 29 when they go back to green flag action. But yeah, it's a big hit here with Casey McMullen. No one really came down with him. He's going to be restarting in 8th place, and he's got some work to do. It's not impossible, but it's a tall task.
Yeah, and there's going to be plenty of time left too. So we'll kind of see where this goes. But what would be a great thing to have, Jeremy, during one of these races? A butt kicker. A butt kicker at this track is just probably one of those things that would give you that feel. I mean, you have one yourself, so how do you feel with it on this track? I mean, I know Dustin enjoys his. I have yet to experience one myself, but this track I feel like would put out a great product of the butt kicker.
Yeah, any type of short track really, where you're taking high G corners per se, and this track is pretty smooth overall, but you still feel the shifting of the car, this and that. So that kind of, especially that Gamer 2 unit, it's second to none. You don't really see that kind of product anywhere else also. So it's really tough to put into words. I always say like it's like a D-box like experience, but for your sim rig. But you just have to go buy one and figure it out for yourself. It's a really cool product, and it's not super expensive either. So please check them out at thebuttkicker.com. Use NerdTV at checkout for 20% off anything in your shopping cart.
I think
These
that's what I have
guys,
to do to get one. I think I'm going to have to use that Nerd TV to get myself one at 20% off. That's a good deal. Can't pass it up.
no, absolutely not. That's a huge chunk of the price taken off. So, but pace car is down. We're about to have some green flag action. Let's see what Chuck Sweeting has to offer with his semi-converted modified Gator Racing Chevrolet.
Green,
See
green, green.
Larry holding the flag there. Green flag is out. Richie Coy with an excellent restart. Chuck Sweeting has a spot to drop down. Let's see if he takes it. Nope, he wants to try the high side here. Gets a good launch off of turn number 2, and he's actually going to maintain that top line there entering turn number 3. So he's kind of holding side by side. Excellent grip here by Chuck, and he finally looks like he's going to give it up. Nope, he's actually going to keep on it. Really impressive stuff here early, Kenny.
Yeah, that was a great drive off on, too. I was really impressed with how he's doing it. And he's keeping up with Richie. He's making a good fight, and kind of back through the field, I see Casey McMullen restarted there in 7th position, and he's trying to make his way up. Looks like we have the 2 and the of Rob Shoemaker and the 57 Josh Johnson kind of pushed it high there going in the corner, and Casey was able to dip low on them, so he's going to take a couple spots as he's making his way up. I think he's going to actually go under Kenneth Schultz as well, so that's going to put him in the 5th position. But unfortunately for Casey, he's 2.6 behind these guys, and we know how fast Richie is, so he's going to have to get up there in a hurry if he wants to compete for this win.
Yeah, we'll keep track of Casey McMullen. We know he is going to be moving along as fast as possible. He's going to have to do something to get back up there. 2.7 this time around with about 25 laps to go, so he's got to put on a pretty strong pace to get back up to that race lead. Chuck Sweeting was putting on some pressure on Richie Coy, but the past couple laps, Richie's kind of setting sail here and kind of pulling away from Chuck, 0.4 out. Casey McMullen lost another 0.2 that time by, so it puts him just under 3 seconds away from Richie.
Yeah, and you know, even with Chuck, this is still impressive with the night that he's had and the kind of the luck he's kind of fallen into tonight with the wrecks that he's been involved in. To sit in 2nd place and with that kind of car and still competing for the win here. I mean, he's not giving up. He got a little bit there off of 2 and slowed up some of his speed and his momentum, but to still be able to get 2nd, 3rd, 2nd, you know, that podium top 3 is still an impressive run overall, even if he can't get the win.
Yeah, he might be able to get up there too. He's just being held up by Wayne Grassi and the 6-7 of James Wallace there. So he's really trying. He's going to go to the high side of the number 7, so that's all lane he can have. You can't blame the 7 for trying to keep that top 5, because this is top 5. That is a stat that they keep track of. So looks like Wayne's just not able to do it with those fresh set of tires on that 71. Does clear him for 5th. Let's see if he can quickly get around the 67. Then he has some open track in to maybe do something with.
Yeah, he's definitely you know, trying to get those fast tires, and James Wallace wasn't going to let him by too easily. These guys are going for it, and it looks like a little bit of contact there, and we hear an apology on the radio from Casey McMullen. A little bump and run, maybe a little not intentional bump and run, but it ended up working in the long run, and not so much for Wallace there. He's going to lose actually a couple spots on that, but yeah, like you said, we'll keep an eye here on Casey McMullen and see what he can do with these tires, and maybe hoping for another quick caution before this thing's over and see what those tires can do with 10 to go or so.
That was a classic bump and run right there. You hit him square in the bumper, middle of the corner, shift him directly up the track, opens that lane up, and boom, the spot's yours. So very good move there by Casey. But caution is out. Looks like on the front stretch, I think I saw one car around on the inside wall. We'll have to figure out exactly who that was. Actually, Rob Shoemaker, the number 2 Ford Mustang, solo off of exit of turn number 2. Looks like maybe a gear shift or just a spinning of the rear tire. Spun out. Hard impact into the inside wall. Just slowly collects himself, and it brings out your 11th caution this evening, as you see it on Nerd TV. Right there, just loops around and boom, and even lifted the rear tires off that machine. So you know it was a heavy impact.
Heavy impact, but he put it in reverse and threw it in first, and he's still going around. Now we got another modified out here, so he's still going. You know, we got 11 on the lead lap. He can still be fighting there for Gil and Josh so far that's sitting back there and try and gain as much ground as he can. So he's still going, which is good because that was a hard impact. I was expecting a little more out of that, you know, that motor to not really react to it. But hey, Jeremy, that's going to bring Casey McMullen up to this restart. That's going to put him in 4th place with a little bit fresher tires. So let's keep an eye on him and see what he does on this restart.
Yeah, the host of the party kicked him out of the house, out of the party that they were having, and then he came back and is now knocking on the door again, wanting back into the party. Um, he's gonna be starting one row back of Chuck and Richie on the high side. If he can make quick work of the 33, we're gonna have a nice little 3-car tango here to wrap up the next 15 laps before this thing's all squared away.
Yeah, he's got to, like you said, he's got to make quick work of these guys. After these caution laps tick down, or have about 13 laps or so until laps to go after this restart. And if he can get around Chuck and Sherwood pretty quick, he might have a chance for Richie. I know it's not too much of fresher tires, but it is a little bit. It is a decent amount to make a difference. We saw how much faster he was there around the other guys, so that might have been a good move on his call to come in there and get those 4 fresh tires and see what he can do. Maybe have a caution, and it might play into his favor.
Yeah, I mentioned Denny Hamlin earlier. He's one of those guys that I don't know. It was like 6 or 7 years ago at this point. He pitted. They had 3 laps to go, and he started like 6th place. And within two laps, 1 or 2 laps, he passed everybody and got the win. So it's not unheard of for someone on fresh tires to just kind of take over a restart. And he's got himself in a really good position to do so. If Chuck Sweeting gets a great start here on that high side, that might open Casey enough for him to make something happen. But what he does not want to see is a caution, especially from that iRacing iFlag unit. Quick shout out to them. Brings all your indicators and flags, over 30 different notifications that system brings you. You can learn more about it and purchase one yourself at iracingiflag.com. Super Nerd at checkout, 15% off anything in your shopping cart. About a half a lap before we go green flag racing here. They will be taking the green flag with 13 laps to go. So huge moment right here for Casey to show off those 4 fresh Goodyears compared to everybody else on the track. Let's see if he can make something of it. Let's see if Coy can get a great start. Let's see if Chuck can hold with them. Green flag is out. Chuck is unable, actually just able to do it in the corner just temporarily. He does slide up. They gave it up. Richie Coy's going to go single file. Looks like Casey will clear the 33, and now he's got his eyes set on the 75, back for second.
Yeah, and it looks like he might be trying to do a little bit bump and run again on him. Move him up out of the way. That's going to put him, he's got the inside preferred line. That's going to put him in second. Now he's going to track down Richie Coy with 12 laps to go. He made quick work with Sherwood Wilford there and in the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Sorry about that. And making his move there on Richie Coy. So he might have a chance to run him down, Jeremy.
He gets a little bit loose there. Yeah, you don't want to do that if you're going to try to make a run for him. But that lap scored just a half a second back. We know he's got the tires. We know he's got the car. Let's see if he can make this happen for 10 more laps. Let's see who's going to prevail here in the Martinsville 250. This time around, Casey McMullen still super loose there, Kenny, off the exit of 4.
Yeah, you can see him the last 2 laps and just couldn't really couldn't really handle coming off of 4. And I don't know if he's pushing it too hard or what it is, but it's definitely giving him a little battle. Let's see what happens here off of 4 this time. And nope, he kept it pretty smooth, so he might just be pushing it, but he's slowly, as you see, ever so much is gaining on Richie Coy. So we got 9 to go, so not much time, and not many laps to run him down.
An excellent turn number 4 that time, and he gained almost 2 full tenths that lap. Let's see if he can, actually lost a little bit of ground this lap here. He might fall within 0.5 or 0.6 again. Yeah, 0.607 with 8 laps to go this time. And it looks like he's not sticking that bottom like Richie Coy is, and Richie's taking full advantage of it. He's probably spaced himself out close to his second at this point.
Yeah, and Richie's just keeping it nice and smooth, and Casey might just be pushing it and kind of overdriving it a little bit, where he pushed the tires. Oh, we got a hard hit. Looks like Kenneth Schultz, I think, hit the inside wall there. I'm going to have to go back and look, but I believe, yes, it was. Hard hit for Kenneth Schultz, who was running great. He was in 6th place before that, and that was a hard impact to that inside wall. We'll have to check it out here on the Nerd TV replay.
Yeah, he was one of those guys I saw on that last restart. He's actually passed a couple restarts. He's been super loose on these early sets of runs here, and you see it right here. The rear end just kicking out a little bit, and then as he gets on the throttle, it fully went around. That car is just driving on ice on those rear tires, and It's go time, and you gotta get that car going off the corner, and sometimes it bites you in the butt when you have a loose handling car. And Kenneth Scholes heaving to the wall. It's gonna put him back last car on the lead lap, currently sitting 11th place because so.
Yeah, that's disappointing for him because he was having such a great run. We saw him kind of up in the top 3 there for a little bit. The car was clean, had no issues, just like that. Another modified. So it's disappointing. Yes, he was in 6th, now he's in 11th, so he did lose 5 spots, so he didn't lose too much. But still, after having that great run, you're coming with 7 laps to go, and that happens. It's just not a good feeling, but still nothing, to hang your head down on because overall, that whole race, he was still having a great run. So it's still some stuff that you can look back on.
And you know what this does, right? You see that 71 over there?
Brings him right back up to the 19.
Going to be side by side when they get the green flag, which will just be, I think, a 2-lap shootout potentially. As you see right now, Brian Dublé gets the Martin Sports hashtag Get a Grip Lucky Dog Award. So he's going to get himself a lap back, puts him on the lead lap. That brings 12 cars back total on the lead lap there out of the currently 13 running on the track. So I'm sure he's excited to maybe get another couple spots before this race is over. Kicking it back to the front here. Casey's excited. He's got one last chance here to make something happen.
Yeah, Casey, he kind of lost it a little bit there on that last restart, so he's going to see what he can do. We heard from Richie that he doesn't really have the greatest start his car, on the start there. He definitely has a good restart, but the car get going, it definitely doesn't have the start that he needs. And looks like we're still having the lights on the pace car, so this is probably like 2 to go. So we might have, I think the green-white checker that's going to be coming out, whether it's iRacing's version or this one. If it's iRacing's, that might be good for them to give them another shot if something happens. But we know here at Full Throttle Sim Racing, they just have the one green-white checkered, and we're done. So we'll see where this kind of cycles through.
Yeah, I think this will be the official one in green-white checker. We'll get the final word as they cross the line this time as they exit 4. But yeah, this is go time. That 71's got to do something on the top side. We know Richie Coy has got an excellent restart, and it will be the official only green-white checker. This is it. The next flag will finish this thing out. But Casey's got one chance to get it done, and Richie Coy is excellent on these restarts. He's able to jump almost anybody and clear them almost every time into turn 1, except for these last few restarts, which has been close, but hasn't quite done it. But Casey has to be on his point here to make anything happen.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here with these two, with Richie Coy and Casey McMullen. And, Richie Coy's been on it all night. He's been having a great restart as they're coming off of turn 4 here. You're going to see these two top of the class cars all night. They're going to have a great restart. Green flag is out. They're going to have a great restart on both of these drivers as they're heading down into turn 1 and 2. Richie's still going to take that inside point with Casey McMullen on the outside. He's not giving up, though, but Richie Coy with a great turn through 1 and 2. Ooh, You see Chuck Swift on the inside there, locks it up, though. Keeps it going as we're heading into 3 and 4, Jeremy. We're going to be coming to the white flag this time, no yellow.
Unfortunate for Chuck Sweeting, but we got to keep it back onto the front here. White flag is in the air. Looks like Casey lost a little bit of ground to Richie Coy as they're exiting turn number 2. Richie Coy with a 2-car length advantage over Casey McMullen. Should have no problem entering turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Martinsville 250 belongs to Richie Coy as he gets done in Martinsville.
Yeah, and Casey McMullen was pushing on that last one. He actually got a nice little run there off of 4 and a little sideways, but great run there by your top 3. Richie Coy just dominating the whole night with Casey McMullen fighting his way back up there, and Sherwood Wilford rounding out with the top 3 with that incident of Chuck Sweeting and making a nice podium finish there, and heartbreaking for Chuck Sweeting.
Finishes out in 12th place. Last car on the lead lap was in 3rd place. Put an excellent battle to keep maybe 2nd place. And that is super unfortunate, yeah, because he was going to be one of those guys who are going to gain some points over Ryan Hedrick, because of him bailing out early. So you see the 19 burning it down, the official winner of tonight. And as he does his now Polish lap, it looks like, this is going to bring us to the Martin Sports post-race show, presented by, of course, Martin Sports. We're going to go over all the official results here. By Sim Racing Points and talk to the top 3 podium finishers while doing so. As you see right now, Richie Coy did take the win tonight at Martinsville 250. Second place was Casey McMullen. Third place ended up being Sherwood Williford. Fourth place, Wayne Grassy. Fifth place, James Wallace. Nice little comeback there to finish top 5. Josh Johnson in 6th. Chris Beck 7th. After all those woes, ended up 7th place. Not too bad. 8th place, Kenneth Scholes. 9th place, Gil Gawk. And around up the top 10, Rob Shoemaker.
And 11th is going to be Brian Dublay. 12th, Chuck Sweeting after that last lap caution or wreck there. 13th is Steve Loomis. 14th is Tony Solari. 15th, Kevin Rupert. 16th, Brandon Elder. 17th, Super Matty Watkins. And round out in 18th was your points leader coming into this, Ryan Hedrick. So I'm expecting to see a little points change this next week, Jeremy.
Yep, that's exactly what Richie wanted to do, is maximize that scenario there, and they should be, nose to tail in the points entering Bristol next week. So I'm curious to know how that's going to prevail. But I do think we have Sherwood Williford on deck for his third place podium finish. Let's see if you have a copy. Sherwood, are you there?
Yeah, man.
Hey, congratulations on getting that podium finish. That was a pretty good string of laps you had going, and you wound up top 3. So congratulations, and just walk us through how you're able to get up to the top 3.
Well, I appreciate it. Actually, I ran the wrong set. Well, I didn't choose the right set. Let me put it that way. I didn't have the forward bike come off the corner that some of them guys had, and I was actually lucky to finish where I did. Really.
Hey, I mean, even with having the wrong set up, that's still a great finish. I mean, the 33 coming home in third, trying to follow up with that win that you had last week. So great overall run. And, we were kind of noticed with some of the guys like Richie Coy took a couple laps to get going. Case McMillan had a good start. How do you think your car was? It take a couple laps? I know you had the wrong set, so it was a little different, but did it take a couple laps to get going, or was it right at the start there?
It took actually a while to get going. If we had a long run, I could have made some ground up. It was, but I think that was more the guys backing up to me instead of my car getting better. But it's Martinsville, no scratches on it. I'll take it.
Yeah, if you can claim no scratches on your car, Martinsville, after 250 laps, I would say that alone is a success and a win in my book. Congratulations on doing that and getting into the podium. Do you have anybody out there on Nerd TV that you would like to give a quick shout out to?
Well, Nerd TV, I appreciate you guys doing this broadcast and the league. Great place to race. And Timothy Morris, attorney, he's my sponsor. Which I didn't run his car tonight, but I will be the next race. But all the drivers here, man, it's a talented pool here.
Yeah, it really is. Each and every week, you guys put on a hell of a show, and you keep it up, man. You keep getting these top 3, top 5 finishes, and keep trucking through the points. And congratulations once again.
All right, appreciate it, man.
And that was your third place finisher, Mr. Sherwood Williford. That's going to bring us to our runner-up this evening, and that number 71, Blackwater Products Racing Chevrolet. Mr. Casey, do you have a copy?
I got you.
Hey, man, congratulations on the podium. We talked to you, about 50 laps to go, and you had high hopes. And, I almost looked like you got faked into that pit entrance there. We were kind of curious to see what you could do with it, and you made the most of it and got back to second, almost a W. How did you get back into that second place?
I was 34 laps to go. There's a caution there. I wasn't running as good as I thought I'd be running, so I wanted to go in there and get some fresh tires. I hadn't taken left sides pretty much all race, so I figured I'd get the left sides and the right sides and see what I could do.
Yeah, we could see when you got those fresh tires, they're kind of making your way through the field. And I was saying, if you can get a caution, we're going to have a nice little battle for the lead with these two, because you and Richie are definitely the cars to beat tonight. And I know you said you were happy with a top 3, even 4th place, but you came home in 2nd place. It was a great run, and that's going to help with the point standings too, with Ryan Hedrick kind of heading out early. So overall, great run. Congratulations on the 2nd place.
Yeah, that's what I seen. Ryan had a bad night, and I thought I'd hate to really push it overboard and get messed up and lose a whole bunch of spots when we can gain some points here. So I was pretty happy with 2nd place, man. the car was just really loose after I got those fresh tires. I just couldn't get the grip.
Yeah, it seemed like the short run was definitely not in your favor, but you made the most of it and ended up in second, almost first. But congratulations once again on the runner-up position on the podium. I know you got some sponsors that are out there watching, or just friends in general out there on their TV. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
Yes, Blackwater Products USA, Steve Barry, everybody at Blackwater, all the affiliated teams, you guys up in the booth, FTSR, uh, Brody for putting on this great show, and the wife, the kids, and I thank God, and congrats, Richie.
Yeah, appreciate all those kind words. I'm sure they do the same. And go ahead and celebrate with that team, man. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And that was your second place finisher, Mr. Casey McMullen. And that's going to leave one person left, the winner of tonight's Martinsville 250, and potentially tied in the points. Now, with the mistake there by Ryan Hedrick, Richie Coy, you got a copy.
What's up, guys? How's it going? I'm glad to be able to talk to you and not have the commentator's curse.
You know, yeah, that I would have felt super bad. We talked about a couple instances on the track, and as soon as we talked about it, boom, something happened negatively to him. So, really glad it didn't happen in your book. But congratulations on the win. A huge points day with Ryan in that 47, having some issues again at a short track. It's going to bring you right there next to him in the points, if not tied. So it really tightens things up for the back half of the season. You felt good with the car when we talked to you about 40 or laps or so ago, I think it was. And now you're here. How'd you get the thing done, man?
Just a real good support of my team. We had a good setup tonight, and I just was able to drive the wheels off of it without actually overdriving it and messing up too bad. So yeah, it was honestly, I had a pretty good car tonight. I was very happy with it.
Yeah, you were definitely the class of the field. You could see that car was locked in. You were locked in, setting everything. That's going to bring you to the second multiple winner of the season next to your teammate Brody Hanna. And then, like Jeremy said, right in the points. We did notice you mentioned the car took a couple laps to get in, and once you got rolling, that thing was on a rail, and you were moving and. Just you must love this place because I noticed in the truck race on Wednesday too, you led about 67 laps. So I think you kind of got a feel for this place.
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite tracks on the circuit. I've actually raced here in real life, so it's really cool. It is my favorite track. I have 2 poles this week here, and I was actually finally able to cap one off with a win tonight, so I'm extremely happy over that one.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling to go to a track that you really love and you're able to capitalize and take home a W. So I'm sure that's an awesome feeling for you to finally get that done. And congratulations once again. Anybody out there in the nerd TV world that you want to give a quick shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to Casey and Sherwood for having a great race tonight. Casey really made me sweat there towards the end. And shout out to Brandon. I'm really sorry to see what happened to him there coming out of 2. He had a great car tonight. Would have wished we could have ran him the rest of the race. Thanks to my teammates, Tony, who didn't have the greatest of races. Unfortunately, he was got a bit upset. He kept getting back to the lead lap and then getting laps down again. So shout out to him for getting through a tough race, and shout out to my owner who actually threatened to fire me midway through the race if I didn't win the race.
Well, if that doesn't light a fire in someone's ass, I don't know what would. But you're able to pull it off. So, job secured at least until next week when we head to Bristol. But job well done once again. Congratulations, and go ahead and celebrate with the team, man.
Appreciate it, guys. You guys do a great job. Can't wait to watch it back tomorrow. And thanks again.
Yeah, appreciate those kind words. And yep, we will see you soon. And that was your race winner, Mr. Richie Coy, in that Flow Racing Ford Mustang. And Kenny, what a race!
Yeah, it was an awesome race. I mean, Richie was just dominating it, and you have a couple people going here and there trying to pick them off and race for the lead. And with Casey and Richie up there, it was a great battle. But overall, what a great night and great night of racing. It's going to shake the points up. I mean, with Ryan Hedrick finishing 18th and Richie Coy, I kind of said it earlier, and I really didn't put too much into it, but that's Richie Coy leading the most laps, going to win the race. Ryan Hedrick in 18th. I think that might put him ahead, Jeremy, as we're heading into Bristol by just a point or two.
It's going to be super close. Wait until they get that sim racing points point thing updated, and we will know shortly tonight. But we got 5 races left in the Cup Series, Ken. We got Bristol Dirt, and then followed up with the Super Speedway, being Talladega. And then we have Dover, Darlington, and Kansas to round out the Cup Series. Over the next 5 weeks, the points are deadlocked for the top 2. We're coming to a track with complete unknowns with the next gen car. And then we have a super speedway. So anything is possible really within the top 5.
And all 5 of those tracks are a different challenge, different varieties. So it's none of them are going to be the exact same. Different corners on them. I mean, you have Bristol is going to be dirt, like you said, it's going to be a question mark. Talladega is always a question mark. And then you got Dover and Darlington. That's going to be 2 tough tracks. And then you're going to finish off with Kansas. So these next 5 weeks is going to be a good stretch to see kind of where everyone's going to come out on top.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And we'll bring that action to you every Monday for the next 5 weeks to settle in your season 2 champion. But we got some people to thank, Ken, before we wrap this thing up tonight. Thank you, especially to Full Throttle Sim Racing. I know I apologized early on for the Wednesday mishap. That problem has been fixed. It looked like everything was pretty smooth on our end, so we should be able to bring the rest of the racing action to you with no issue whatsoever. They've been doing it for 16 years, iRacing for 5 years. Visit their website, FTSR.net, and sign up for any one of their 5 series they have across the whole week. Sim Racing Points, the official truck series sponsor, and the official result sponsor that you just saw here just a few moments ago for the Monday Night Cup Series. Richie Coy taking the win tonight. That point system software, you just export the results, and with a couple minutes, your website's fully updated with everything you need to know about the race and the standings. Check out their price plans at simracingpoints.com. Quick shout out to Martin Sports. Would like to reread our section because I just atrociously destroyed everything about that read off. So Kenny, they have customized t-shirts,
What?
hoodies,
What?
hats,
What?
and the fastest turnaround in the business.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah. And you can find all that at martinsports906.com. Super nerd at checkout, 25% off. Next up, iRacing iFlag. iRacingIFlag.com. You go to their website and buy any one of their light systems, the indicators. I think there's over 30 different notifications that system gives you. And as you saw in our commercial break, that's a pretty bright lit software and hardware combination. You're going to use Super Nerd at checkout, 15% off of all their stuff on their website. And then the Butt Kicker, home of the Nerditudes Gamer 2 unit. Gives you that much needed feel in your seat. Brings that real life experience from the car directly to your seat. If you buy that Gamer 2 unit or anything else, use Nerd TV at checkout. 20% off everything off thebuttkicker.com. And then our official energy partner of Nerd Focus. You're going to find their products at nerdfocus.com. Pretty cool product there. Keeps you super focused on whatever you're doing. Their merchandise looks pretty cool. They have a cool little lineup there as well. You use Super Nerd at checkout, 15% off. And you see Dustin right above my head. Hello there. He's got the Nerd Focus right there. It's kept him alive and super focused, bringing those awesome camera angles to us. So appreciate that, Nerd Focus. And then we also have the official asphalt setup provider for Nerditudes. That being moonlightspeed.com. You also find them on Twitter. Customized professional-like setups for all your asphalt needs on the oval side, and I think some road courses as well. Helped me win a late model race this week, and I'm not too good at those cars, so that speaks volumes just for myself personally. Find their stuff at moonlightspeed.com. And on the flip side, on the dirt, we have the houseofspeed.us. Again, professional setups on the dirt side. So check them out on social media as well and on their website. All right, Kenny. We're going to bring this back to you this coming Wednesday, 2 nights from now, 9 p.m. again. You're going to catch us on Facebook Gaming, YouTube, and, of course, on Twitch. So until then, you guys stay safe out there and get your nerd on.